Well, hello, fellow star stuff. You might have heard me just Windows having a freak out in the background, and that's because I don't know what's wrong with my computer. I don't know what's wrong with it. I spent a ton of time beforehand. Actually, let me try something. I spent a ton of time beforehand trying to set up the new audio interface that I was talking about. It's not. I had an issue with it last moment. I was like, yeah, it's better to switch back. Maybe if I go here and do this, will this help? Will this help if it's not running, maybe? Hopefully. And then we'll open up the game again and hope for the best. Man. Okay, maybe that seems to be working a little bit better. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of issues. There's a whole bunch of issues with today's stream. If you see any of them, shh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If there are any audio issues, do let me know. But if you see any visual whatevers, whatever. It is what it is. But hello, fellow star stuff. Hello, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. We are finally back after a little bit of a break. We are finally back with some more. Where is it? Yay! Alright, cool. Alright, cool. We are finally back with some more Ever 17, the Out of Infinity. Last time we finished the Tsugumi route. We finished the Tsugumi route, and that was pain. That was a lot of pain for what? For no reason other than to make me specifically suffer. But also we got 6-7, so you know what? Maybe it's all worth it in the end. Maybe it's all worth it in the end. I'm really so I guess one thing that I've been thinking about is the idea that, well, the only thing that I've been thinking about really is the idea that this is the Tsugumi route is the questions arc, and therefore, actually, what do I want to do? A new game. Hold on. The reason I do this is because sometimes this music is copyrighted and it gets muted in the VOD. That took forever to load in. That does not bode well. That's great. That's great. Can I skip onto the next choice, please? Okay, there we go. This is good. So last time, the number one thing that I've been thinking about the most, I would say, is this idea that the Tsugumi route is the questions arc, and everybody else is kind of the answers arc. And I do kind of get that, because, for example, one of the last things that Takeshi did, and this is the biggest mystery to me, one of the last things that Takeshi did in the Tsugumi route was he found the CD that PP had in his mouth, and he put it in his pocket. Not knowing that he was gonna die 20 minutes later, but he put it in his pocket and he has it there at the bottom of the sea. So there's that. I am so curious as to what could possibly be on there that was so important. I mean, we had the vials of antidote were given to us by the dog, so surely something important about research or whatever is also on that CD. Something that was very, very vital. But for the most part, there is for example, if you play the Tsugumi route first and then get to the Kid route, right? You have this experience of Kid and Sada being kind of yeah, we're gonna get out of here and everything's gonna be great and awesome. And you're kind of sulking in the back. You're kind of cringing a little bit because ooh, they're gonna die. They're gonna die because Kid is not cured at all, right? Versus the experience of being there with them and being yeah, happiness, yay, and then only having the realization after the fact of that's so bad. That's so bad. It's a personal preference thing. Personally, I love the moment where it hit me where it's oh, that's bad. That's really, really bad. I really love that moment personally. So I think it's a personal preference thing, but it's I've really been thinking about the idea that this is the route you're supposed to start with, and it's that's crazy, because there's only Sada has a good and a bad end. There's only one end. There's only one end. You only get a bad end for Tsugumi. So it's it's really interesting that you're supposed to start with that and then move on from there. So good to see you again. Feels like it's been forever. It has been forever. Hello, Kadensha. I hope you've been doing well. I hope you've been doing well. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. It has been forever. And actually, I haven't even... Hold on. I need to put this over here. I'm just not set up for stream. I tried my best with all the audio stuff. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, the Tsugumi route was really great. The longer that I think about it, it's like that was kind of cool. I didn't get a chance off stream with in between like sickness and everything else to really dissect, which is what I wanted to do. I still want to do, really dissect why I think it's like such a special route as compared to everything else thus far in the Infinity series. But I mean, there was a lot of build up to that moment, right? There's a lot of build up to this moment of like, hey, kind of reiterating what I said in the past of like, hey, like she doesn't really just like you immediately. She hates your ass for the longest time. She hates Takashi for the longest time. Before she's finally like, you know what, you really did come back for me. You really did come back around for me, and I appreciate that. So it's meant to be vague and ambiguous because it's supposed to be, you know, up to reader interpretation. I personally do think that Takashi is down, you know, is under the sea. He's under the sea. He's still alive, but he's continually like drowning and dying, which is kind of a worse fate than honestly just dying. Honestly just dying, to be quite honest. But I still think that that's the case just based on all the information that we were given in that route. I feel like that's more appropriate. I think he inherited some of Tsugumi's powers. So who's to say? Maybe we'll see him in Remember 11. Remember 11, baby. Who's to say? But we are here. We are here finally with the U route, and this is a very exciting route for me. I really want to start this last week, but again, it's like there's a ton of like health issues and stuff like that. I really want to start this last week though. I was like, man, like she's literally the best. She's literally the best. Yeah, I think she's just my favorite character, hands down. And we're also going to be returning to Kid, and that's an interesting one. So, hello, Kid. Definitely easier to do than the Takashi voice. So, always welcome. And I don't know, like, maybe marginally more of a character. It's just more so I want to know like what's going on with him. I do have a vague understanding of it. Like he was one of the experiments. But I find him like more interesting as a protagonist, I would say, perhaps. So, but let me go over to, I need to get the guide up. I need to get the guide up. I'm not set up for anything. Hold on. We go over here, and then maybe I'll put this up here, actually. I didn't want to, but I sure can. I sure can. Let me put this over here, this over here. All right. And then the flowchart. Yes, you start as Kid. Okay, cool. I was like, just in case, I'm a little worried here. Listen to the joke. Sora +1. Listen to the explanation. Tsugumi. These ones at the beginning don't matter to any of the other characters, Sara and you, at all. So you know what? You know what? And Coco as well. Coco is real. So you know, there's that. So you know what? Doesn't even matter. I'll talk to you later, sure. And let's just skip through there. There we go. Hello, I hope everyone is having an amazing and wonderful day. Hello, Kenneth, welcome on in. I am having the day of all day. The day of all days. But I hope you've been good as well. Welcome on in. Thank you so much for stopping on by. I appreciate it. I don't know what, I don't know. I forgot. I guess this is just one of the ones that doesn't matter. And we've chosen both at this point anyway. Okay, it was the Tanuki. It was Tsugumi. And then skip. Just who exactly are you? We haven't done any of the other ones, to be honest. So there's one that gives you +1 and then +2. I don't know. Apologize. I'm sorry. He didn't recall seeing her, but he nodded slightly in apology. Did I do something to offend you? Not really. I was getting more and more confused. I mean, I just remember us falling in love in another timeline. I know, that's weird. I have this memory as well. I also remember, like, dying. That's crazy, right? Yeah, I know. This elevator is for employees only. Is this the break-off point? It's not. Oh, I see. Boom! Okay, there we go. That's the break-off point. Yay! And then, I've got to find my friends. Nah, screw that. My friends are not my power. Who am I? I didn't know where I was, but quietly, I open my eyes. Yay, alright. And then we continue. It is so weird. It's like you're it is so weird because it's like we've been here already before. It was such a long time ago, but we were here at one point. Thanks. No thanks. Let's go ahead and get this just in case. I also really like, I forgot how much I like this shade of blue. Whatever Takashi had going on was kind of ugly, to be honest. To be honest. This is nice. This is nice. Remove the window. There we go. She is the focus this time. So. Okay, thanks. U plus 1. Crazy, riveting. How was I ever supposed to know this? Okay, thanks. Thanks. And I've already done this already, so we skip. We almost die. We get this crazy animation. Whoa. Whoa, animation in my visual novel? That's crazy. Alright. Ask or don't ask. Ask. U plus 1. Okay. It really is that simple. Okay. I want to know. What is this about? I'll tell you. You were just talking about how the watertight doors started closing all of a sudden, right? Oh, yeah. Limit and the automatic doors. Okay. The great mystery of Limit and the automatic doors. Gotcha. All right. Continuing. Oh, no, she's real. She's real. Oh, man, but I kind of missed her. To be honest. What the hell was going on with Coco? Why was she there? Why is she not here in this room? I don't know. There's something... She doesn't have... Sara doesn't have her, like, a front-facing sprite. I'm pretty sure only Coco does. So she's just scarier that way, you know? She's just scarier. Why was she there? Like, I know her father was there, but why? Ask you. U plus 1. Amazing. Riveting. We've done all these options. Okay. Skip on to the next choice. Try to contact the others. Look for other exits. What is the answer here? It doesn't matter, I don't think. I see. What the hell do you mean Coco plus 1? On this route? What are you talking about? Oh, whatever. Else was I right? Yeah, I don't think this choice actually matters. In that case, we're gonna do something a little fun. Did I choose the correct thing? Did I choose it? Try to contact the outside. Did I choose that one before? I didn't save. So you know what? We're just going with that. Skip on to the next choice. Oh, we chose this one before. Oops. Oops. Okay, I have to remember to right-click. Apologies about that. I have to remember to right-click. Worry about Sara or don't worry. Oh, it was an important choice. Really? Was that right? Else. But it seems to be only for Coco. I don't know. Okay. Maybe there's a third option there at some point that will pop up, is what it's saying. Anyway, we're not gonna worry about Sara. Who cares? Don't worry. But her expression somehow didn't seem fine. It was probably to be expected, though. All kinds of things had happened, and in the end, we hadn't found an exit. Mentally, we were all pretty well done in. I thought I should leave her alone for the time being. Just knowing that she's staring off in the corner because it's like, yeah, you look like my brother, and that's kind of awkward because like I know, like I've been looking for him for so long. All right. And then we skip through all of this. It's so great to see you, my guy. I haven't seen you in 10 billion years. I haven't seen you in 10 billion years. All right. Ishihara Makoto. We did choose Prince. And then I think the rest of these are like references from that one game, Memories Off or whatever. So they're not going to matter to me, but you know. Inaken. Inaken is good. Inaken? No way. Forget it. You gotta be kidding me. Y'all hate this. I mean, it doesn't suit you. Man, I freaking hate you guys. I hate you so much. Alright. We can get rid of that. And then, what does it matter here? All I see is 5 and then 6 and then else. What does that mean? Whatever. I'm checking the guide. Hold on. Yeah, I think this is... I think it doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter. Why are you so angry? I haven't even introduced myself. It's kind of a wild thing to say, but why are you so angry? I wondered why you're so angry, and... I jumped directly to the point. Why? You're funny. You don't know why I'm angry? I don't. Listen, cut it out. I've had enough of that. Just drop it. Of this? Don't pretend like you don't know. Please. I'm not pretending. I see through you. I know everything. I don't believe it. I never thought you'd join up with those guys. Those guys join up? Yeah, this is something that she said beforehand. Those guys, as in like the normal people who weren't experimented upon, but I mean, Sara was. She definitely was. Okay, I think this is all skippable. And then I don't think this all matters. If I say not really, what happens? To one of these explanations, what happens then? Not really. I tilted my head. Think about what would happen if you took a plastic bottle that was capped and filled it with air, then put it in deep water. What would happen? Oh, what would happen? The side of the bottle would dimple in, right? Exactly. This phenomenon is due to the air inside the bottle being pushed in by the water pressure. So to keep the bottle from being compressed, what do you have to do? Oh, I see. The answer is simple. You pack more air into the bottle. If the pressure from the outside and the pressure from the inside are in balance, then the bottle's shape will not change. This is what is meant by saturation diving specifications. It's a little bit of a rough example. I think I get it. By the way, in this bottle that we are talking about, that is filled with air, and she still continued anyway. She's like, whatever, I'm still gonna explain. And immersed in water, what happens when you open a hole in the top? The air will leak. And then? The air will escape out. Oh, when the balance of pressure is lost, the bottle will be crushed. That's right. And that is precisely what has occurred and the primary cause of the flooding here at Limith. The drop in internal pressure is one atmosphere caused the glass to crack and let in massive quantities of water. I think I get it. Do I have to sit through it? No, we're good. We're good then. So just a little extra explanation in case you wanted it. It's like, okay, I think I get it. We've already gone through 2 routes, so at this point I get it, but overall it's like, yeah, a little extra explanation in case you wanted it. Microorganisms control room, hot springs. Even that would be impossible. I might be able to handle that. Take girl out, ask her why. That's after you visit all 5 places, so that doesn't matter. Okay, so this doesn't matter either. I might be able to handle that. Yeah, I can do it, no problem. Well, somehow, I think I could. What? You'd have to swim it, you know. This isn't walking or running. But 34 meters, that's right over there. Well, I would float. Actually, I think it would be easier than walking the distance on land. You don't have any idea how severe water pressure is at 34 meters deep, do you, Kid-san? Huh? Now, hold on just a minute. Just a second ago, you were talking about even if one could endure the water pressure. That type of hypothetical talk is meaningless. You can't discuss this problem without water pressure. But Sora-san, you said no. Shut up. Shut up. Your preconceptions are wrong. All right, fine. Listen, try to imagine it one more time. I would love if this was an illusion of choice. You just have to go through the choice over and over and over again without any sort of thing to back it up. You are 34 meters deep. Could you swim to the top of a 10-floor building? there was a severe edge to Sora's way of putting it. I think we can skip through this. I'm a liar. We can't. I felt like there was something of a warning contained within her words. You will face this later when trying to save your sister. My what? What are you talking about? Sora, you don't... You really don't think I would try to break out of Vader's stock and swim to freedom, do you? You wouldn't, would you? No way. Why would I do something that reckless and crazy? Well, I should hope not, because I'm keeping track of you all? Because I'm in charge of this experiment? That was weird. That's a weird thing. I guess she's just like concerned about our safety, but also why would she do that? It's fine. I understand. Right now, all we can do is patiently wait for help, right? That's right. Saying that, Sora gave a big nod. Alright, and that was that. So we can skip through the rest of it. And I guess we can skip through all of this as well, because we've already seen all of it. I'm actually surprised you can pick up on the game after weeks and still remember lots of specific details. Do you refresh yourself before stream? Sometimes I go back and I watch certain parts of streams to see. Sometimes it's for clips if I want this to be clipped, and then other times it's for like when did this happen and like what were they saying exactly. So sometimes I've seen it back twice, but it's usually like right after the stream happens, like within a day or two. Overall, it's just like I'm really enjoying the game, so I try to remember as much as possible. I try to remember. I have the memory of a goldfish, but I try to remember. So, to the merry-go-round. Woo! This is where she's gonna tell us about her dead dad, who maybe isn't dead. Who's to say? That's crazy. To the security office. Oh, why was he in there? To this day, I still don't know. Why was he in there? Did he have the CD? Nah. Nah, he wouldn't have it. Because we got it from the floor below. But why was he there? Why was he there? To the control room. Alright, to the warehouse. To see our sister, and then to this one. Yay! And then a bunch of stuff happened. Why is this new? Ooh. Takeshi shamelessly carried on like that, looking happily asleep. I wonder what kind of dream he's having. I forgot. Your voice is higher, your voice is lower. We need to readjust. We need to readjust because Coco is no longer real. Idiot. I'll kick you into next week. Why is this happening? Why are these new sentences, phrases? Also, hello, Black Moon. Welcome on in. Hello. I hope you've been doing well. Welcome on in. If you have the memory of a goldfish, I have the memory of a kid. Fair. I mean, I just try. I just try as much as I can. But I feel like there's still a lot of things that are falling through the cracks here. Like, why, and how is this different? Huh? Oh, is this like, in Never... Doggo? Doggo? Okay. Is it... I'm gonna try and finish my thought. Is this kind of like in Never 7? Remember the way that that Okiko would have his crazy dreams, and those dreams would mark the start of each individual girl's route? It's too early to tell. It's way too early to tell whether we're on Sada's route or Yu's route, for example. But I guess this is like kind of a callback to that, where it's like you have different dreams based on different things. Because I don't think this actually happened. Dummy. Hey! Kuranari! Wake up! You grabbed hold of Takeshi's collar. If we hadn't stopped her, she might have strangled him. Alright, now we're back to it. That's strange, huh? Okay. Why? Why? Howdy. Welcome. I decided to make her act like we already made her act like you. So that shouldn't matter, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. In that case, you're gonna act like Minnie Mouse. I'm sorry, Minnie Mousy. Minnie Mousy. I choose Minnie. What? I can't do that. Those are the rules. Alright, I'll do it. Okay then. Matsunara Sara-san, become Minnie. I don't know anything about Mickey or Minnie Mouse. Mickey Mousey! Mickey Mousey! Mickey Mousey! The leader of the club that's made for you and me! That's so stupid. And then... What are you doing? You two acting like Mickey Mouse? Yeah, shut up. Shut up! You appear to interchange clothes. Okay, and then we can skip till the next choice here. I got it. I don't understand. I've never known anything in my life. I don't understand. Sorry, I don't get it at all. Well, the kid's lost his memory, so it's to be expected. Alright then, I forgot she called her Mayo. Mayo. Alright then, Mayo. How about an explanation? Okay. The Archmage's Princess... Oh, I don't want to hear about this right now after everything. I don't... No, all of you shut up. I don't want to hear about it. All it does is cause me pain. Alright. Can I skip through it? Yay. I'm guessing I'll help you is reminiscent of it. It doesn't even say, honestly. How could this not be an important scene? Control room, microorganisms, hot spring. We're already past that point. So it has to be... I have no clue. I have no clue. Anyway, I'll help you. I'm going to help out you. Okay, in that case, Sada and I will hold down the fort here. She looks so sad about that. She looks so sad about that. Like, no, spend time with me. And it's like, whatever. See, in that route, like, I end up dying in a later timeline. Don't even worry about it. We're doing the right thing here. You can't complain about that, right? Okay. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. It seemed that Takashi was oblivious to his disturbing dream the night before. I figured that Yu's concerned about you in her own way. Like she had you carry the heavy toolbox. Maybe it was her way of saying rest a bit or take it easy. You think so? That's a pretty generous interpretation, I'd say. Now, well, in that case, I guess Sada and I will just have to sit back and relax together. Takashi tried to pat Sada on the shoulder, but she dodged in advance. She was like, you probably don't want to do that. Huh? I'm a licensed Iga ninja. Oh yeah, I forgot. Your thing was ninjas. Yeah, forgot about that. What's that? It means if you value your life, you better stay back. That's not your voice. Your voice is a little higher. You better stay back. Oh god. Kid, should we get going? You jump scare. Yeah. You and I left the increasingly tense atmosphere behind. The room was covered in a massive web of pipes. The pipes continued into the adjacent generator room. It seemed that by opening and closing the valves, the water and oil pressure could be adjusted. Normally, Limith is responsible for maintaining the generator room, but even it can't do much when the generator itself goes out. Anyhow, this is probably all because the power supply is down. This room is designed so that maintenance can be performed manually at times like this or during blackouts. That was what you told me. You selected one pipe from the countless row of them and instructed me to close its valve. As ordered, I turned the valve around and around. Hey, you? I said that as I was closing the valve. What? That's not your voice. What? It's about the girl from yesterday. Yesterday? You mean the 7th survivor you said you saw? Oh, yeah! Yeah, alright. At least she's here now. Kind of. That's nice. Yeah. Also, hold on one second. All right. You're sure your eyes weren't playing tricks on you? I'm positive. These eyes saw her. Maybe you've got some kind of eye disease. Maybe I've got super eyes, all right? Shut up. Wait. Infrared eyes that see the infrared of life and can only see Coco. But Sada didn't see Coco ever at all. So it must be something more than that, you know? Huh? Disease? I'm kidding, it's a joke. Why do you always take everything seriously? Enough already. Alright. I'll listen to your stories of unidentified survivors later. Right now, we have to work. Finally, the valve was completely shut. That should do it. Can we talk now? Let's get back to Kurenari and Sara. Yu took off from the room as if she were a fugitive on the run. I was left alone in the room. I felt an unclear mess of feelings stewing inside my mind. With that, we had been able to shut off the hot water flowing to the generator room. Even so, on the other side of the door, it was still hot enough to scald. The four of us waited outside the generator room until we could be sure that the temperature inside had cooled enough. Huh. Can now I skip? I can sure skip. I realized the whole you thing is literally the story of Odysseus and Polynices, the story where he goes, I'm nobody, and the Cyclops goes, nobody's here. so nobody listens to him. I'm not familiar with Greek, any sort of like Greek mythology at all, so like that's the first time I'm hearing about it, probably. Unless it was touched on in Hades. It's like it's probably the first time that I'm hearing about it. But I love the whole like you thing. Is like, is it you? But the thing is, so again, Takeshi and Kid are related, and then Sara and Koko are related, but then Yu doesn't have any sort of like, it's not like Yu is like, I am you, therefore you, as in like she has a connection to Sora or Tsugumi specifically, I don't think. So it is like a very interesting thing of like why does she have a really long name? Like, why is she called Yu? Like, is there any meaning behind it? Or just like, yeah, we just felt like it, different things like that. She really does not want to talk about this. She really doesn't. And it makes me suspicious. Why? Why does no one want to talk to me? Familiar with that story, and it's a nice comparison. You never heard of the epic musical? I don't think I've ever gone through it. No, I don't think so. Takeshi and Yu did the bulk of the work. There wasn't much for Sara or me to do because we were helpless when it came to machines. Takeshi and Sara were working on the other side of the generator. Yu was doing battle with the machine and depending on my flashlight wielding skills. With nothing much to do, my thoughts started wandering, and of course, they led right to the girl that had disappeared. I couldn't believe that I had imagined the whole thing. Okay, new CG art. Okay. What is it? This one? Yeah, it's this one. It's just you being a girl boss. Hey, I've thought a lot about it. What? About the girl. Are you still stuck on that? Just listen. Maybe that girl, maybe she's a ghost. Huh? This one. There's hotkeys for all of these, but it's like I don't hotkey. I've never used a hotkey in my life. Not usually. I've gotten better about it over the years, but it's like I'm still not used to hotkeys. So it's just like, I'd rather use my mouse and just click through it. Huh? You gave me a fed up look, shook her head, and went back to her. She was like, that's so stupid, and went back to her work. Okay, fair enough. That's gotta be it. That would explain why the numbers changed so irregularly, and why she vanished all of a sudden. That's stupid. But it would explain the 6-7! That's stupid! Shut up! Stop talking about it! Listen, I'm serious! No. No. If you're talking about something serious, I would take you seriously. But I'm not listening seriously to something like that. Stupidity is contagious. It's like multiplication of pluses and minuses. A plus times a plus is a plus, but a minus times a plus is a minus. So you pass me that minus-like screwdriver, would you? I suppressed my anger and put the flathead screwdriver in Yu's hand. Okay then, you don't have to listen seriously. Just listen to me stupidly. What's that mean, listen stupidly? It's multiplication, right? A minus times a minus is a plus, right? I see. Okay, I'll listen to the stupid stuff you gotta say until I finish screwing in these screws. So, what is it you're dying to say? It's about the girl that disappeared. If she were a ghost... Now, hold on, do you really believe in ghosts? I wouldn't say I believe, but I believe there's in the possibility. 0. That is what possibility there is. Maybe 1%. There you go. Did I count all that correct? I probably didn't. That's gonna be on the final exam. There's a choice in the game where it's like, is it 0.01%? Is it 0.0000001%? Or is it 0.00001%? Okay. How do you know? You sighed and started turning the next screw. Listen, ghost stories now and forever are almost always made up. They're just fiction with the goal of entertaining people. But haven't you ever felt somebody's eyes on you when you're in a room all alone? Eyes? Yeah, like someone watching you from behind. No, that's just Sara. Like, she's in the room with you, like she's watching you right now. You mean your mom? I'm being serious. Never mind. Things like that are just your imagination. A product of an overzealous mind, an illusion spawned by the mental state of a person. You mean my mind is playing tricks on me? To be perfectly blunt, yes. It's a great listen, and they're making an official music video for it soon. Not the forbidden number! Not the forbidden number! I find it... Okay, to be fair, genuinely, I do find it kind of funny, the idea of... And it's a little bit early for this meme in universe, like 2017 or whatever. But I find it a little funny, like the idea of like kid frothing at them out, being like 6'7", you don't understand, 6'7", and you just like, oh my freaking god, oh my freaking god, just kill me now. I don't know, it's kind of funny. That feels like the wrong amount of zeros. Can you can you do that again? Sure, no problem. 0, 0, 0, 0. We're gonna be here forever. We're never gonna get through the game. UFOs and goblins are the same thing. People like to imagine stuff. Thanks to the power of imagination, people have been able to evolve where they are, but it's kind of a curse too. Is this the antithesis of like Akane? Is this like the opposite? Like she walks into a room and then Akane melts into dust, like no, no, no. She just like melts away. Okay, interesting, kind of like it. Taken to extremes, there's no distinguishing between reality and illusions. When you turn on the lights, the ghost is only a shirt on a chair. People who want to be scared see what they want. If you really want to believe that something exists, even if it doesn't, then you still feel that it does. If you're scared of something, you'll scare yourself into even if there's nothing there. Keep arguing, give up. But I don't see this there. All I see is, I see the option of take girl out or ask her why or else. And apparently both of these are Coco options. So who the frig is Coco? Who the hell is Coco? Keep arguing, give up. I find this interesting. It's tying into the idea of belief as well, and like she's so steadfast and like I really want to believe that my dad is still out here and alive and like doing his thing. So it's like this is how we're setting it up essentially. I don't know, man. I kind of want to keep arguing. It doesn't say that I'm gonna lose points for it. I kind of want to keep arguing though. What about sleep paralysis? How do you explain that? Sleep paralysis? Are you about to say the demons? When you wake up and you can't move. Is that just a person's mind too? They probably can't move because someone tied them up when they were asleep. That's not how that works, I don't think. I've never had sleep paralysis, I don't think. I've never really experienced it. I've definitely experienced the phenomenon of like, of being like, when you wake up and you have like that moment where you can't tell if it's sunrise or sunset, and like that really fucks with your sense of like space and like who even am I and like what am I doing? Do I know this room? Like that messes you up for a little bit, but I don't think I've had like the actual like I can't move. Like that's never happened to me. Who? Some SM? Oh. They probably tied it up while you were asleep. Who? Some SM freak? As if that could happen. I'm kidding. You're talking about when your body is still asleep, but your mind is awake. so that even when you're conscious, your body won't move. What about people that say they wake up and saw a ghost on top of them? They think their eyes are open, but it's really just a dream. Because the brain is fully awake and the body won't do as it's told, a person feels fear when these two things happen at the same time. So even the most incredible dream seems like reality. The human brain is crazy, man. Like, on this note, it's like the human brain is actually crazy. It's kind of insane. I just told you, right? If you really, really believe something, then even reality seems like an illusion. So, doesn't look like you could you're convinced. Hold on. If you really, really believe something, then even reality seems like an illusion. Oh no. Oh no, not the thing. I gotta get away from Courie, man. I gotta get away from it. No more Courie syndrome. We gotta get away from this. So, doesn't look like you're convinced. You can't convince me. I know. I saw her. At least I saw something. Don't go telling me you have special powers to see spirits or anything either. I do. You don't understand. Everybody in a relationship makes this exact choice, and only one of them is right. The most important choice, but it is the most important choice of their life. I think that this sort of counts as sleep paralysis, but I've dreamed that I was awake and can't move. That is sleep paralysis, isn't it? Yeah, I guess it is. I think that's like the textbook definition then for sleep paralysis. I definitely had, like, I think I've had a dream maybe. Don't quote me on it, but I think I've had a dream like once where it's like I'm like getting ready. Yeah, I've definitely had a dream like that where I'm getting ready and I sit down to be the space delivery girl, and it's like I'm working through some stuff, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, I didn't do any of that work because it was a dream. Because it was a dream. I feel so tired from working in my dream, and now I've woken up and it's like I have to go work in real life, and it's like, oh my god. Like, that's terrible. But I don't think I've ever had the experience of just like not being able to move. I've been like dead tired that it's like I'm not like 5 more minutes. I've definitely had that, but I don't think I've had the experience of like I can't move. That sounds terrifying, honestly. There are more variants, I think. There is actually awake and can't move. Yeah. Although the way that you described it, she's like, I don't believe in that, apparently. I don't believe in that, apparently. But there are people who are actually awake and like they can't move, and then people who are asleep who then think they're awake and then they can't move. And then like just different variations of it. So it's always a strange thing. It's like, because it seems to be quite common to the point where like sleep paralysis demon has become like a meme and stuff like that. But it's like a lot of people have experienced something like it. So you're not gonna say it, right? All right. But no spinning your head around 360 degrees or spewing out ectoplasm goo, all right? And no supernatural tricks or channeling spirits either. Because if a poltergeist gets loose around here, the screws I just put in could fall out. For not believing this stuff, you sure know a lot about it. It's because I don't believe in it that I know a lot. My knowledge is not for defensive purposes. It's for offensive ones. Huh? I mean, there are those people that swear by ghosts, the supernatural, UFOs, and that occult stuff. They're completely loony. I love her so much. I love her so much. She's... What the hell? This is like such a... I love her, like, especially, like, particularly within the context of, like, a Zero Escape adjacent game, where it's like, how are you here? How are you real? There's no way. I don't know. I don't believe it. I think we're gonna get to the end of this and she's gonna be like, you know what? I do believe in UFOs. I do believe in UFOs now. They're real. They're so real. There's no way. She can't stay like this. It doesn't feel real. My knowledge is so that I can take them down when I meet them. Like, you're just gonna meet an alien and be like, Lamayo, you're not real? You're not real? I've stocked up on enemy information for my verbal assaults. That's the reason I majored in archaeology. You majored in what? You majored in, huh? And you got hired as a nurse? Okay. Okay. What? I majored in archaeology. That's dope as hell, by the way. But also, like, who even are you? What? Archaeology? Don't you treat like you help? Aren't you on the medical staff or whatever? Archaeology? I thought that was about digging, looking for artifacts and ruins, and deciphering ancient letters. That kind of stuff, right? Well, maybe. You studying archaeology. It just didn't click. So what are you studying? I'm not doing anything big. I'm still a freshman, so I'm only taking basic stuff. I just listened to Professor's lecture. I just listened to Professor's lecture. I guess so. Isn't there apostrophe here? I don't know, maybe. Lecture and go on to the evacuation surveys. I'm still getting the fundamentals of what is archaeology pounded into my head. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of archaeology, have you ever heard of the continent Lemuria? I wish I had the song on hand. I wish I had the new opening. Lemuria. I think it's actually been figured out. Still could be a theory that the function where your body prevents you from moving in your sleep is engaged longer when it shouldn't be, and that's the phenomenon of sleep paralysis. That would make sense. That would make sense. Maybe it's just like a thing that's like you're really tired and then like it kind of just messes you up, right? So X-Files starts playing. Best girl. She's just like me for real, for real. She's the best, man. She's the best. I can't believe she's actually real. Also, hello to you. Welcome on in. Hello, hello. I hope you've been doing well. Speaking of, did we get those alien files released lately? You know, there are 4 kinds. Apparently one of them looks like Norwegians. No, I don't know anything about it. She performs archaeology at the back of the hospital. Why does she know so much though? I guess it's just in case like you get hurt in an an archaeological like dig. I guess that's why she knows it. It's still kind of wild though that she was hired for staff, for the medical staff. Okay, sure. I don't know how that shit works in Japan, but you really need a health degree here to get her hired to be on the staff for it. It's like I don't know, they were just like whatever. Because I know they have the exchange anyway, and technically she's worked here before, but it's like I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. Professors plural, not possessive. Oh, okay. Me when I grammar, and I know how to grammar because I've been grammaring my whole life. I've been grammaring my whole life. There we go. See, I got it. I got it. Also, thank you for the clip. Thank you for the clip. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of, yeah, have you ever heard of that banger song? No, I haven't. It seems like it's the origin of Limu's name. Have I heard of it? I know so much about it that it makes me nuts. Like I play Genshin Impact all the time. I think it was you, Black Blue, who was telling me it's apparently a thing in Genshin Impact. Lemuria is the phantom continent that is said to have existed from 200 million to 50 million years BC. On it thrived an advanced civilization that was more advanced than what we have today, but it slipped down to the bottom of the ocean overnight. You mean like the scientists that are kind of below our feet that we don't know about yet, but maybe we'll know about. You recited it off so fluently that it sounded like she was reading from a textbook. Advanced civilization. Overnight. Huh? That sounds just like... There are some scholars that contend that this continent was the origin of mankind. But what could they be talking about? That could never happen. True. Okay. I was about to be like, but you believe this? It's like, okay. She's still very consistent. You don't believe it? Of course not. Archaeologically and geologically, the idea has no basis. The more real research is conducted, the more the theory is shot full of holes. It's no longer a legitimate field of study. Is that right? Reality is different from a fairy tale. Religion is like that too. Any and all of those mysterious things that people get all worked up about, they're mostly all make-believe. Since it's all impossible to prove it in the first place, they can say whatever they want. It's the philosophy behind it. She has to change by the end of it. There's no way. How can she truly be real in an Uchikoshi game? I thought that maybe precisely because there was no evidence for or against it, what people said was actually packed with meaning. I felt like that only because those words were only the foothold. Were the only foothold, rather. Blah, blah, blah. A reading day. It is certainly a reading day. The only way to really nail down reality. I absolutely thought about that for a minute. This screw is really tight. Let me try. We switched places and I tried twisting the screw into place. I'm beat. My shoulders are stiff and everything. You twisted and stretched. Her back popped loudly. Hey, you know what we were just talking about? What was that? Oh, Lemuria. Yeah. Kid, you're not one of those people that gets all into these stories, are you? You're not Akane, are you? Like, maybe I was. Yeah, in Genshin they spell it, Remuria. Remuria, so it's a little bit different. But same concept, an ancient civilization that sank to the bottom of the ocean. I see. So just like, kind of like the inspiration for that sort of, plot point in there. So advanced, you have to say advanced twice. You have to say advanced twice. I thought it was Lemuria because it was full of lemurs. And apparently that's the mascot, so they got really creative with it. It was like, yeah, lemurs, yeah. It was like, sure, I guess. Were there lemurs on Lemuria? Don't think about it too much. This is morally correct logic, regardless of what is actually actually correct. I use 100% of my brain for that logic to form. I don't know about that. But since we've got time to kill, just humor me. All right. What is it? This is a very Zero Escape scene, though, I will say. We're taking time out of it to be like, yeah, we're going to have this conversation here, because we're not doing anything else, so. Okay, I wondered if Lemuria angered God, and he sent it to the bottom of the ocean. That is, if the people of Lemuria had such an advanced civilization, maybe God struck them down for their pride or something. Also, I didn't set the timer for the thing at all, and it's already an hour. Well, I'll hopefully remember. I'll hopefully remember in like 3 minutes. Huh? You? Hello? This is bad. Danger. Putting myself in danger of being dragged into lunacy with you. I hate your bullshit. Stupid. Alright, I should be fine now. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying that it was like the Tower of Babel, right? The Tower of Babel? In the Old Testament, in Genesis, there's this story about this tower. In it, people are so proud of their achievements that they build this super high tower, this massive structure that almost reaches to heaven. But God was angered by their behavior. God said, I will bring down their pride together with the trickery of their hands. They are impudent. So God took it upon himself to destroy the tower, and the building stopped, and people spread to all corners of the earth. That's the story of the Tower of Babel. Huh, okay. Danger! I'm just imagining a yellow submarine in the background during this conversation. It fits so well, though. My partner gets upset whenever I drop hard facts and like that all the time. it's such a refreshing thing, though, right? Where it's like just to have this character, especially in this game, who's just like, no, I'm not buying this. Like, no, whatever. Because even Date and like Aidesanya Faust gets pulled into everyone's just like, well, maybe, I don't know. If I really close my eyes and think about it, to just be like, no, this is dumb. This is dumb, but whatever. This is such an interesting character. All right, I think it's about time now. It's a tad early, but I think it's about time now. Let me go over to Burb screen. Yay! Alrighty. If you are here, stretch, get some water, all the good stuff. I will be right back in 3 minutes. See you then. Alrighty, I am back. Let me go back to game screen. Is it this one? Pretty sure it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Alright, cool. Alrighty. And then continuing with more of the madness. Okay, Tower of Babel, I think, is what she was talking about last time. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I nodded without stopping my work. That would have to be the work of a god like Shiva. Like Final Fantasy, or like Shiva? The god of destruction and creation. I know Final Fantasy, I guess, didn't create Shiva, but also I guess it's kind of funny because we were talking about Final Fantasy the other day in the Just Chatting. We were talking about the new games and stuff like that. One of the main 3 Hindu gods. He has more faces than 1,000 names, 4 arms, 4 faces, and 3 eyes. He destroys the world for the purpose of creation. The destruction is so thorough that in it is contained the seeds or possibility of the next generation. Oh, okay. I didn't actually know that. Okay, there's many a movie I feel like that are kind of like based on that premise, like the idea of like the old generation dying and then the new generation kind of like taking form essentially. So it's kind of based on that idea, that premise. Kind of like starting from square one is better than fixing something halfway. Maybe. So if Lemuria had pissed off a god enough to sink it into the ocean, then that god would probably have demolished it. Oh, I see. Thank you for the Welba. Thank you for the Welba. Back to aliens archaeology. I would love it if she had her own corner just dedicated to that. It's like disproving every single thing that she's ever heard ever. Oh, hello, Red, welcome on in, my favorite SMT. True. I guess Shiva just kind of shows up in everything, I guess. Also, hello, Red, welcome on in. Thank you for stopping on by, I appreciate it. No, Final Fantasy created all gods. Everyone else just copied them. True, Persona invented jazz music. Did you know this? Did you know this? Persona invented jazz and like everything, everything spawned outside of that. So true. Yeah. Time is a circle. The Hindu religion copies Shiva the second go from time eternal. Oh my gosh. It's a time like vortex loop that just kind of collapses in on itself. Everything comes from somewhere. Ayo, half lurking, half working on some stuff. No worries. Thanks for the lurk. Have a good work. Have a good work. Jesus is my favorite SMT character. Man. Yeah, that's true. I guess I didn't even think about that. It's like we're gonna have a whole bunch of sorry, this is getting off topic. It's just me talking about Persona. Did you know Persona? We're gonna have a whole new cast of like baseline personas for the main cast. I wonder what they're gonna be centered on. You know, that's gonna be super cool. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'm getting distracted because I'm talking too much about Persona. A god that would purge the world of filth by destroying it. A god that damned people drunk with pride and forced rebirth. Look, you're slowing down. Hurry and finish up. I'm already done. I'd finished putting in all the screws. Next, tighten these bolts. I handed the screwdriver to her and took the wrench. Somewhere along the line, I'd been put in charge of the work. When you pointed the flashlight near me, I saw 3 bolts in the shape of a triangle. Did you say that Shiva has 3 eyes? Yep. That means... I put the wrench between my eyebrows. He'd have another eye right here then? That's right. What are you doing here, you little weirdo? Yeah, I guess. The light from that 3rd eye burns all in the world, purifying it. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. I said that as I tightened the top bolt. But I bet a visit from the optometrist would be a pain. Well, you have to buy another lens so the optometrist would love it. I thought to myself that making a custom frame is what would cost a fortune, but I didn't dare say it. That's enough of that. But the idea of a 3rd eye is not limited to Shiva. It also exists in the world of Buddhism and yoga. just general yoga. I was genuinely about to read this as yoga. As yoga. No, yoga. Clairvoyance, telescopic vision, ghost sense, the gift of the prophet, the power of seeing the past or the future. There's a lot of explanations behind it. Some say it's a gift from the gods, others say that you can acquire it from intensive training, but what they all have in common is... when the third eye opens, true wisdom is apparent, and all becomes visible. They all have something to do with transcending the realm of the human, becoming superhuman somehow. Real wisdom. Muttering that, I turned to face the bolt again. If I had that, I'd be able to get my memory back. Yeah, right. If there really is such a thing, I want one. You want what? A third eye? Yeah. If I had one, maybe I could see my past, and maybe I'd know who that girl is. You already have one, technically. You already have one. Persona came up with the concept of Jokers, too. Persona invented jazz, the color red, Jokers, pretty much just everything. We can all attribute this to Persona 5. Persona invented Persona 4 and 3 retroactively as well. And time management-based relationships. It's actually kind of funny, because in that way, it technically kind of did, because we're going back and we're re-updating 3 and 4. So technically speaking, it's not wrong. Persona 5 did invent Persona 4 and 3 in a weird way. I'm gonna go ahead. I was just on break. I didn't mean to do this. But I need to go and get some water. I need to go and get some water because I don't have any. I'm out of water. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna go over to Verb screen real quick. I'm sorry, I'll be back in like literally 1 second. Hold on. Alrighty, I am back. Persona 5 can never invent Persona 1 and 2, though. Because number 1 wasn't invented in Persona 5 yet. They started at 3. True! Persona 1 and 2. You mean 3 and 4? You mean the third and the fourth one? Huh. What is 1 and 2? Thank you for the welcome back. Let me go over back to game screen. And for real, we will actually continue. Alright. Anyway, I'd like to see what it's like. You want to see? Yeah. Maybe I could see something. Shall I give you a look then? What? I looked up, and there was Yu's face. And she gets so close to me. Stranger danger. We were at a distance that could be just to feel each other's breath. The tips of our noses just about touched. That was how close her face was. Ew. You want to see, right? You stared at me in the eye as she said that. I couldn't speak. My legs shook. Do you think Sada is in the room seeing this? Sorry, I just need like a POV like Sada cam as she's like staring at her brother, just like looking. She's like, why? My heart was beating as fast as it would go. I felt like it would jump right out of my chest. Now, take a good look. You lifted up her bangs and placed her finger on her forehead. Right here, isn't it? The third eye. On Yu's face, there was nothing. All I could think about was her nice skin and sweet smell. You grabbed her stomach, laughing. Huh? What? It's a joke! A joke! What? What's too funny? Who else would take that completely seriously? You're the best. You're so mean. I thought you really had a third eye. What the hell? You tease me even though you know how serious I am. Sorry. I'm sorry. But you just keep saying one bizarre thing after another, so I couldn't help playing a joke on you. Besides, what I said wasn't really a lie anyway. Saying that, you pointed to her forehead again. What do you mean? I wondered why we only had 2 eyes. Common knowledge had it that physically 2 eyes were enough for gauging the distance to a point or focusing on something. It's like Star Wars, which also invented by Persona. They should have added a sprite for holding up her bangs. Yeah, that would have been nice as well. I guess we're just having too many CGs. What other CGs await? Because I guess it's very different already. Honestly, I didn't think that we would get this extra scene, but I guess it's because we went with her earlier. That's why. Common knowledge had it that physically, yes, but what would it be like if we really used to have 3 eyes? Actually, the animal ancestors of vertebrates had 3 eyes. Early species of primitive reptiles, like the tuatara lizard, that still had a 3rd eye on the top of its head. There we go, the 3rd eye. The organ had a similar function to the eyeball and lay on the top of the head. That organ would be sensitive to light outside of the outside world and control internal hormone secretion and balance based on light. An eye on the crest of one's head would stare straight up. It would be safe to say that it would sense the difference between between day and night. A right eye, a left eye, and one above. An eye on the top of the head to stare at the sky. Only we people and higher vertebrae had lost a 3rd eye over a long process of evolution. It had been covered over by the cerebrum, and we had lost our ability to sense light directly. It's like you can tell. This is the best thing about it, though. This is literally the best thing about it. You can tell what have you been reading this time, Chikoshi? What shit have you? What did you get from the library this time? This is the best part, though. It's like you can tell whatever he was talking about, because this honestly is completely like so. I guess it's not too, like, in the eye example, like, we go to eye dysomnia files, and, like, that's a little something. But to be fair, the 3rd eye thing only really ever came up in the spin-off game, and it wasn't really that important. The focus of eye dysomnia files as a series and, like, what new conspiracy things is Uchikoshi bringing into the mix is, like, it's so different from this game. But you could tell this is what he's big into right now. This is what the team is big into, talking about this. Tuatarias is a real animal, though. I know. It does have something like a 3rd eye. I definitely know. I just don't know how to pronounce it. It's like yep, nailed it. Are you winning, Miss Courie? I sure am. Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome on in. Hello, hello. I hope you've been doing well. I am winning by having best girl on screen who is consistently like, yeah, I don't believe any of this crap. Like, let me tell you like how reality works. So in some ways, yes, I am winning. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Oh, the author is putting in whatever they read this month. Yeah, and you know what? It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it to be like, oh, like it's so bad. It's like, I think it's fun to like take inspiration from things that you're doing in your real life. Like, I read a book on this and I thought it was kind of cool, so I wanted to incorporate it in the story. Like, I get it. I get it. But it's also just like so fun of just like, this will not be here in like, I don't know, like 10 years or so. This will not be here. This will not be a thing that we bring up. Therefore, we had 2 light-sensitive eyeballs, one on each side instead. The lost third eye was called the pineal, called the pineal body, I guess? Pineal body? I don't know. I don't know. It functioned in the brain for eons and was responsible for secreting hormones that helped carve out the 24-hour rhythm. What we called our internal clocks existed because of the pineal body. What if I just don't have one? What if I just don't have one and I suffer? That was essentially the rundown that you had gave me while I was tightening the bolts. So, the third eye, in terms of human anatomical science, is really no big deal. It's just an organ we lost through evolution. You mean like an appendix or the webbing between fingers? That's exactly what I mean. I finished with the both. Okay, well then, our work here is done. What the hell did Takashi and Sada do during that? What did they do? What did they talk about? Whew, I'm tired. You stretched as she said that. I put both hands on my waist and stretched. We were both drenched in sweat. Hey, I was wondering. What? So that occult stuff that you were telling me is for offensive purposes too? Well, it's not really for offensive or defensive use. It's just a load of useless knowledge. Oh no, maybe she is the prototype. Maybe she is the prototype though. Maybe she is the blueprint for what would become the biggest meme in all of gaming. She's so real for that. She really is. She really is. Still, I can't very well just throw it away. Maybe it's completely rooted itself into my brain. But you planted it there yourself, right? No way. My mom's the guilty one. So, is that so? I have a family member, for better or for worse. It's gotten worse over the years. I don't want to talk about it too much. Who is really really into this sort of thing, like the third eye and like, you know how it is, like the chakra, crystal, like whatever else, this sort of thing. So I was like, why do you know so much about this? I was like, I vaguely remember hearing about this as a child. Why do you know so much about this? It's like, your mom's into it. Okay. Gotcha. Your mom? Yes, my mom's an archaeological researcher. Apparently, she's an expert in the ancient concept of the third eye. Ah, I see. But maybe she also has some weird books lying around, and that's why you picked it up. Anyway, when I was little, she told me all these third eye stories instead of lullabies. That's why. Yep. Wow. The third eye. How about that? I wondered if the third eye could really be related to something. I thought I would ask about possible connections, but my mind and body were completely drained. Oh well, I'll save it for next time. I used to hate archaeology. You sighed as she said that. Interesting. Why were you in the computer science club? I guess it's just because your dad was into it, so you tried doing that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Perhaps. Everything's defensive and offensive. Why can't it just be fencing? Why can't it just be fencing? Actually, you is a metaphor for you, the player character and all of your experiences. Did you know this? It's me. It's me, Courie, talking about me. I have 4 eyes. True. And in an alternate universe, Courie also has 4 eyes, technically. I may or may not. I really want some like glasses for my model, I think. It's like, I don't really want them all the time, but it's like, I think I want some, perhaps. I do prefer to wear glasses overall but usually I end up wearing contacts. But sometimes with contacts, it's like my eyes need adjusting, and then I reach up to my face to adjust my glasses and they're not there, and I feel so like I don't know. It's like this feeling of feeling like you're naked. It's just like, why is it not there? So, also, computer science is cool. Everyone should take a coding class, unless they hate it, in which case they shouldn't take a coding class. It is kind of like, I took a coding class once, and it painful, like physically painful, and never again. Never again. But I do agree with it. Like, a basic coding class isn't like a bad thing, because it's like we're surrounded by technology, so it's at least a good idea to have a basic understanding of how basic things work, you know? It's not a terrible thing in the world, the like, practicality speaking, but also like it caused me so much physical pain, so no. So no. You should get those circle black glasses that rock stars wear. They might have a little I don't know, like a little add-on thing. You can get some of those on like VGen for sometimes. Maybe I'd be able to add one to my model, because I think it would be kind of cute. Oh god, coding sucks, software engineer. So you know better than anyone. You know better than anyone. Yeah, it is like, I respect people who can like really delve into it. My brain is just like, but I don't understand. Like, I'm doing something, it's like I'm following, all this makes sense. And then the moment that something doesn't work, I'm melting. I'm melting into a puddle. I'm just like, no. I'm gone. Goodbye. So, but one day I just woke up and found myself in the archaeology department. Like mother, like daughter. It's not that simple. Yu's shoulders slumped and she let out a deep sigh again. It's like some kind of curse. Soon after that, it looked like Takeshi and Sara had finished their work as well. Well, it had turned into an adventure, but at least we finished the repairs. It was just like Sara had said. The cause of the blackout was due to the safety valve. Can I skip this? Yay! Alright, cool. That was an interesting scene, and I'm glad it happens relatively early on compared to everything else. I'm glad that it happens. That was an interesting look into her psyche a little bit. So, what am I supposed to do now? Is this a new day? Is this the same day? I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. No problem. I don't think so. Wait here, help you. That's day 2. This flowchart is so confusing, man. I don't know where I am. I forgot where I am because that took so much of my brain power to think. Okay, thanks. No problem. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this is when she's asking us like, hey, go get a drink for me. And it's like, I don't think so. I don't think so. Get it yourself. You won't do me a favor? Nope. Why not? You're no use. Whatever. It's exactly why you shouldn't be asking favors of me. Listen, kid, you've got some kind of memory problem, so you probably don't know. But at times like this, guys are supposed to say, sure. I don't think so. No matter how much memory I've lost, I know that much. Do you want me to ask Takeshi? Or maybe Nakyu? Hey, Takeshi. Sara started calling to Takeshi, sitting on the other side of the table. Alright, I got it. Really? I gave up. I was sure that Takeshi and you would side with Sara. I feel like I had fallen into a trap. Yep, that's just how it goes. You can't complain no matter what I bring back, okay? Okay. Ah, what a pain. Alright. That's not the end of it. Never mind. Is this the end of it? There we go, that's the end of it. What's a hacker? Alright, very topical to what we're talking about. What's a hacker? What is that? How is they real? You should also be able to attach any PNG to your model. Yeah. There, I mean, on my own is like maybe so. Like I definitely get it. Like knowing a little bit about like, because technically speaking, it's like I have to learn OBS technically to stream, right? So just knowing a little bit more about the things that I use for streaming is like would be nice. But also, yes, I could find some things on VGen as well. Java, my disaster. JavaScript lied to me. Java's the worst. I feel so well knowing that I don't understand what any of this means. It's like, well, I avoided that. I avoided Java, whatever the hell that is. I do know what JavaScript is. It's like I avoided getting in depth with it. So it's like, yep, since that sounds painful. Hacker, I hardly know her. It's me. I'm a hacker. Oh, a hacker. Oh, hacker. Oh, oops. Sure, you are not a hack. You are not a hack. I can't say so. What's a hacker? I don't know that. A hacker? Yeah, how should I explain this? I guess you could say a computer expert of sorts. Anyway, she knows everything about computers, and she kicks butt when it comes to programming too. Unlike you, again, in the programming club, could not do anything to save her life. It was kind of funny. She writes programs for fun. Just the other day, she got first place in some cracking contest. Cracking contest? I think we saw this. Okay, a contest that breaks code. Just so you know, it's not illegal. It was sponsored by some company with code technology. It was legal cracking to test their security. Yeah, we definitely had this dialogue tree at the very least, because I remember talking about this the first time. I was talking about that. It's like I saw, because it was, what did I see? There's actually a VTuber who did like something who found like a security code in like Google, I think, in Google or something. I forget their name though, but there is somebody, like she's a VTuber, and then like she did that. She did that. Just teehee, lamayo, just VTuber things. Just finding security flaws in Google, you know? So you could just do that, I guess. The company has hackers attack their algorithms. I was getting more and more lost. Just think of it as a decryption game contest. Oh, so it's a game. Just because you call it a game, I wouldn't take it lightly. There were engineers participating from all over the world. Winning it means that you're one of the world's best hackers. You could even say the best hacker. The best? That's just way too incredible. I know. When it comes to computers, she's a genius. I see. Huh, okay. Skip until next choice, there we go. And then Sora explains a little bit about how... Did she say it yet? Lamayo, I'm a ghost? Like, she's a ghost, I guess? Did she say it or no? I think so. I think she said it at this point. I see. I don't get it. This is literally all of your options. I don't get it. This many hints and you still don't get it. Use your head. And then she just walked away. Use your head and then whatever. You put her fingers on Sara's temples and massage them teasingly. Stop it! That tickles! Oh, you like that, do you? Stop it! I said... I mean it! You're as much as a ditz as ever, Mayo. I know! I've had this problem ever since I was little. What am I saying? I'm not that stupid! Whack. Sara lightly slaps you on the forehead. Their exchange was enough to make the two of us feel make us other two feel stupid. Enough of that. Just tell me. Oh, well. Listen, kid. Would you rather fight one person or 4 people? Neither. Just pick one. One, I guess. Why? Against 4 people, I wouldn't stand a chance. Right. That's what I mean. Huh? That is what Tanaka-san means by a strategy of numbers. I haven't spoken as Sora at all. She's real. She's here. Yay. Again, in every single timeline, it just feels like she's put to the wayside. She's like, I feel so bad, man. I feel so bad. Why must it be this way? I've heard hacker so many times in such a short time. It's betting this came out in the 2000s, 2002. Yippee. Yup, it came out in the 2000s, 2002. Yup. Back, did I miss anything interesting? We finished up the conversation with you talking about Tower of Babel and like, did you know the third eye that must reveal all that must be done, and yippee! And that's about it, basically. That's about it. Yep, if we all mob together, then there's nothing the person that's it can do. All of this extra explanation for a game of tag. Is this game relevant? I mean, we had the one scene where Kid was counting long after he left the facility, but that was like in another timeline. So okay, we could skip through that. Huh? I wonder who I should go with. We're gonna go with you. Huh? Kid, you decided to come this way? Yeah, but where do you plan to hide? I'm thinking about that as we speak. We kept running. All right, what were we gonna do? As we scanned the area for trouble, we looked for a hiding place. Unless we hide somewhere unexpected, he'll find us right away. Well, let's go into a room for now. As I said that, I heard something. Somebody is coming. It's probably Mayo or Sora. Probably. We peered through the darkness in the direction of the sound. I think it's Takeshi. See someone's silhouette. That bill could only be... Yeah, there we go. Okay. It's the same as always. We just decided to go with her. Oh no, it's Takeshi. But something different apparently is gonna happen. Okay. But really? Hurry, we've gotta hide. We dove into the nearest room. It was the elevator hall. What are we gonna do? There's nowhere to hide. Takeshi steadily approached. The most menacing he's ever been in the entire game. I know. Let's hide in here. Huh? Where? Yu's finger was pointing at the elevator that was stuck on its way to Zvader stop. Y'all are crazy. What the hell? No. 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 Elevator that is stuck, that might fall down at any time, doesn't have power. We should not be just playing willy-nilly with the elevator. No. That was the one that Sada had been stuck in the day before. The door was still open. Firstly, Yu lifted me on her shoulders and I hurried into the elevator. Then I pulled her up. Huh? So we were able to hide just an instant before Takeshi came. That's insane. Insane! Don't skip on to the next choice. I need you to remove the window. This. Why would you do this? We held our breath, watching silently. No emergency light even lit the elevator. Just profound darkness and silence. I could hear Yu crouched next to me, breathing. I thought I could almost hear my heart. I hope he doesn't find us. Shut up, he's here. Oh, there he is. I was like, I really wish that they had shown him here. There he is. There he is, looking as goofy as ever. Takeshi appeared at the bottom of the stairs. He seemed that he hadn't pinned down our position. He was still glancing around. My heart rate rocketed. It pounded in my ears. I put my hand on my chest as if to hold it in check. Oh, please don't let him find us. Takeshi just stood there. It was as if he was sure we were around. Strange. I could have swore I heard footsteps over here. I guess it was just my imagination. It looked like he had finally given up. Phew. Just as I thought the crisis had passed. Oh, come on, kid. Come on, kid. Any other time. A sneeze welled up inside me. Why now? I clamped my hand over my mouth as I desperately tried to hold back. Somehow, I managed to keep it in. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. All right. That's fine, too. We can do that, too. That's fine, too. Hey, I know when someone's there. Who is it? This is such a cute sprite of him. We've never seen this before. That's cute. He found us! Run! Run to where? Yeah, but where could we run? No problem. Leave it to me. The next instant, Yu threw herself out of the elevator. Yeehaw! Yeehaw! You made a spectacular dive, turning it into a stunning dropkick and killed Takeshi. The end. Yeehaw! He died that day. We're all like, what the hell? Why'd you need to do... Was that really necessary? Okay, sure. We won in the end. We fought well, but Takeshi found us. Can stomp. He still won. He still won after we drop kicked him. Okay, sure. Sure. But I want to win in a tag. I want to. So you pry the elevator open? No way. No way. I could never. Best girl. Yeehaw. She's great. Imagine this was Yu's ending right here. It would have been so funny. There's no joke endings in this one. I know, like the side game has a ton of for Aidasami Fox. It has like a ton of like joke endings. I would love it if this game had like at least one joke ending that's just like, yeah, whatever. We just thought it would be funny to put this in here, you know? A short while later, he found Sara and Sora too. We met in the conference room. One moment, 1 second. Alright. Alright, now I just need to get Tsugumi. Oh yeah, Coco's ghost is here. She's still playing kick the can as well. Takashi stepped on the can, looking satisfied. Still, it's kinda weird. Weird? What is? The can when it was kicked before. Oh, this should be the same, actually. Yeah, this is the same. Alright, and we've gone through all of these already. It is kind of insane how much we can and can't skip. Lemuria Ruins, we can also skip. The rest area, we can also skip. Just in case, I also checked inside the elevator that you and I had hid inside. Of course, there was no one there. And that place was a waste of time. I decided to go elsewhere. Just for the one new dialogue to acknowledge that you did that. Okay. Skip until the next choice. Rest area. We fell on top of Sada. Really weird. Really weird that happened, but okay. Okay, that's there too. I have no clue. I have no clue. Of course, I had no clue. Jeez, Mayo, explain it so this idiot can understand it. Okay. Sada cleared her throat, put on her explanation face, and started speaking. Originally, hacking as a word meant the rhythmical manipulation of a computer. People that could do this were called hackers. That evolved into the word hacker for technicians and research computer experts. What you're probably thinking about is hacking, the hacking they talk about in the news, meaning crime committed using a computer. Yeah, I remember seeing this before. Apparently the game thinks we haven't seen this before. I remember you explaining this to me before. Like when somebody steals secret information or destroys data via a computer. But it's a mistake. That kind of thing is called cracking. It's completely different. And the people, I remember this. I remember this. And the people who do this are known as crackers. As I remember, I made a joke about this. You can't say that on Twitch. You need to make a distinction between them. There you go. You clapped loudly. Got it? There's really no connection whatsoever between the word hacking and criminal activity. It was an intelligent gathering for us to gather to try and boost our computer skills. I remember this. Yeah, there we go. All right. Tsugumi is also dead in this route. Basically dead to us. It's like we never get to see her ever, except that one scene where she's like, "You should know better than this kid," and she walks away mysteriously. It's so interesting. It's so interesting. Takeshi, I'll go have a look around for you. All right, it's in your hands then, kid. If something comes up, use Limith to contact me. All right, see you later. I ran through the corridor, kicking up spray as I went. You! 6:57 a.m. How are you all up so early? How are you all doing this? Hey, you! It was strange. I thought that maybe she wasn't on that floor. Just then, Sora's voice came to me from the voice converter. Kid-san, it's me, Sora. I know where Tanaka-san is. She is fine, of course. Let me take a sip of water here. One moment. Alrighty. I talked about this before stream, but apologies for my model being laggy. I don't know. If you were here at the very beginning of stream, you heard like Windows like making noise and then like doo-doo just like 10 times before I actually was like, hello, fellow star stuff. So it is what it is. I don't know what's happening with my computer. It's dying. As long as the game does not, die on me, it's fine. Speaking of, for no reason at all, let's save. That's a cool thing to do. That's a cool thing to do. She's this is really I don't know, this is kind of like my favorite route so far. It's kind of goofy. Where is she? Zuider Stock in the security office. Security office? Why is she in there again? I don't know. Tanaka-san contacted me about her whereabouts. I got it. I'll go to the warehouse as well then. No, that will not be necessary. Why not? Fortunately, to the extent that I have been able to investigate, there was no major damage. Sora added that there was enough people to do the required work. It would be better for you to go to Tanaka-san's location.
To where you is.
Yes, something is strange there.
Strange.
I can't say for sure, but I sense something. So I think that someone should go investigate.
Wouldn't it be better if you went instead of me?
If something was strange, I didn't know what I could do. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I must go to the control room.
Control room? Is something else wrong?
Not now, PC-kun. I don't know why. It's just I tried my best and it wasn't good enough. It was just like, okay. It's making a lot of noise. It's struggling. It's hanging in there for this this game that came out in 2002, by the way, but it's okay. It's hanging in there. So 2 more years at least, PC-kun. Hopefully even longer. When I first started building computers, I got Ordained Online. I used to baptize them in everything. It didn't help much. It certainly didn't help much. Also, hello Albert, welcome on in. How did your PC building go last time? It went well, right? I think at the end of the stream you got it all set up, right? How's it been so far? Is it like a gaming PC or just like a regular PC? No, I have to do a little maintenance on Lemeth.
I see.
I'm sorry, but do you think you can manage it for me?
Sure, I don't have anything better to do. I'm off to check on you. The security office, right?
Yes, thank you. I think it's because I don't know. My theory is that Yu is doing something that would mess up Sora's systems, right? And we know this already, but it's a little bit more than she let on, at least during the Takeshi route. I think it's a little bit more than she had told Takeshi. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm like, she's doing something very bad. Sora is kind of privy to that and is like, hey, go stop her. Go be an annoyance to her because I don't want her messing up with my systems, you know? I climbed the second floor via the emergency stairs. 7:06 a.m. I called to you via the intercom on the side of the security office door.
You? It's me. Can I come in?
Huh? Kid? After a bit, the door opened. What's up? What are you doing here? Yu was unable to hide her surprise. Sora was right. Strange might have been the word for it.
Sora told me to come.
Sora.
Yeah, she said that something was strange and that she wanted me to take a look.
I couldn't think of a better way to put it and just blurted out the truth.
Is this a bad time?
Yu slumped her shoulders as if defeated and heaved a sigh. Well, I guess that's how it goes. If you think about it, Sora has ears everywhere. Well, quit standing there. Come on in.
Alright.
You want some coffee? I followed Yu into the room. It smelled like hot coffee. In a corner of the room was an ancient siphon coffee machine percolating up dark liquid. Yu offered me a chair and I sat down. She turned to the coffee maker to pour coffee.
What are you up to in here?
I asked Yu that bluntly as I leaned back in the chair. I'm looking for something. Everything is working perfectly. It's a high-end gaming PC. Nice. Had to see a friend in the hospital today, so I missed the start. No worries, no worries. I hope your friend is okay. No worries at all. It's just kind of we talked to you a little bit when we were in the boiler room control thing, and we talked a little bit about conspiracy theories and the third eye and like how she doesn't believe in any of that at all. She really is just the opposite of Akane. And I kind of like that about her. I think it's really interesting so far. It is kind of baffling to see a character like this, though.
Looking for something?
White steam curled into the air from where she was pouring the coffee.
Is this something that you have to hide from everyone?
I thought it came out a little too accusatory. Maybe I was a little peeved that she was hiding something from us. Here's your coffee. She turned back toward me with a white cup in each hand. She handed one to me. It's hot, so be careful.
Oh, thanks.
A white cup, white steam, only the liquid inside was black. Limu's logo was printed on the cup. Well, where should I start? Yu sat down next to me and took a sip of her coffee. Then she gradually started to talk. I told you before, right? About why I got this job at Limu. I'm looking for clues about my father, who disappeared. I nodded. He went missing 17 years ago, and I came hoping to find a hint as to why... So Tsugimu, Tsumugi, she's the Ever 17. And then your father is also the Ever 17, because he's Ever 17 missing for 17 years, went to get the milk, never came back. Okay. What did this have to do with Sara, though? What did this have to do with Sara? Is Sara 17? No, she's like 16, isn't she? I don't know. I don't know. Am I 17 years old? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Again, Sara is such a... it's such an interesting route.
You said that the last place he was seen was in Limu, right? Oh, are you investigating that?
Yes. You nodded and shifted the cup to her other hand. Information about my father. So, miraculously disappeared, I believe, then when Tsugumi would have died? I think? Maybe? I might be crazy about that. I might have the timeline mixed up there. I have to go back and check just in case, but... Wait, Tsugumi is 17 years old? Physically, yes. She's older than that. So she's never so she's never 17. Technically, yes. Technically, yes. Yeah, it's like she's 23, but she stopped aging at 17 due to the incident of trauma, and I don't know, something about this corporation that we're dealing with now is like they're actually super duper evil, man. They're super evil. They were experimenting on children. So Ever 17 invented Forever 21, the clothing company. Oh man. Okay, that makes sense. The incident. True. She's Forever 17. She is Forever 17. She is. It was 17 years ago. They said there was a big They said there was an incident. There's an incident. The big accident here. Accident? I don't really know that much about it. Even looking at old news clippings, I wasn't able to gather much information. There was something that happened... They said there was a big accident here. Like here specifically? Like in the facility? In which case, Kid and maybe even Tsugumi, they really actually did grow up here. Huh, I thought for sure, because she said she was in America at the time, Tsugumi, so I was like, I thought for sure that took place in America. No, there was a window, wasn't there? There was a window. They were outside. They were above water. They were above water and they had sunlight pouring in, unless that was just a lie. Yeah, so it was a different location, at least for Tsugumi. Even looking at old news clippings, I wasn't able to gather much information.
What do you mean?
The cause of the accident, specific damage, what happened afterwards, all coverage was vague. I figured that the media didn't really know the details about what happened either. Somebody or something powerful clamped down on information.
Huh, that's interesting.
An accident 17 years ago, shrouded in mystery. And my father, who disappeared 17 years ago. He worked here until right before the accident. I can guess some of what happened from what we already know.
You think that the accident had something to do with the disappearance of your father?
That's right. I thought that in Lemith, there would be some trace. That's why I came. But since I started working, I haven't had any time to look into it. I couldn't even get close to Lemith's database. I guess it makes sense. I was pretty naive. The chair squeaked as Yu slumped back in it. She just stared at the ceiling. But you know what? Opportunity knocked.
Opportunity? You don't mean this accident?
Yep. So that's the moment you took you seized your chance, essentially. Sure, you could do that as well. She's forever 17. Imagine forever being in an emo phase. Oh no. Oh no. Surely. I mean, yeah, kind of though. Kind of though. She had a reason. She had a right for it. Like why she was so upset. It's just like I can never age and like this kind of sucks. But also kind of that was kind of her whole deal. She's like she was emo forever. Forever and ever until she met Takashi. Until, you know, she didn't meet Takashi and Takashi was gone. Yay. Clearly, Sora, the AI hologram, kidnapped her dad and is hiding in the cupboard. I guess that's what she's thinking. It's like, she must know something. I get it. Like, as a surveillance system, she must know something. But also, what do you think that she knows? Because, she did know that there was a secret facility down underground, and she was like, I'm not saying shit about it. So you know what? Sora is kind of lying to us, to be fair. There is that. It wasn't a phase, Mom! Shut up! It's not a phase! Yeah, she's saying there was an incident at this location 17 years ago. Yeah. Huh. Well, I'm guessing it has to do with whatever's underground, so... Surely the bodies would have been decomposed if it happened 17 years ago. So they're not... She's not talking about, like, the bodies that we found in the other room. She's talking about, like, something else that is entirely different from what we know. You place the cup next to the console. Now I have access to Limith. Thanks to the accident, I've been able to get a step closer to my goal. Well, I suppose it has also put my life in danger, but... You joked, shrugged her shoulders.
I'll ask you one more time, but did you have to keep it all secret?
That's a toughie. I mean, I work here, but I don't have any authority. It's just a part-time gig. Taking advantage of this accident to gain access to secret information in Limu. Normally, you might call this...
a kind of looting, maybe?
That's right, stealing information. It's a pretty decent crime. You know, it's a tee-hee-ha-ha, a little bit of a crime that might get me sent to prison, but like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But I suppose there was no way I could have kept it hidden. Sora knows everything that goes on relating to Limith. There was that one time in the Tsugumi route where the system was destroyed, and it's kind of hard to say because both you and Tsugumi kind of hate Sora, to be honest. They're like, you're kind of getting in the way a little bit, if I'm being quite real with you. So it's hard to say, but I had thought, because you had acted a little bit weird, it's like, I have no idea what's going on here. Like, I thought maybe that you had been the one to destroy the machine, and then Tsugumi had just kind of caught the brunt of being like, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? But I think maybe Tsugumi actually did it. But she was thinking about something in her brain, something in her mind. And it's like, what was she thinking about in that moment?
I think she would understand your situation if you explained it to her.
I wonder about that. You growled as she put the cups to her lips. I took a sip of coffee, too. It was super bitter and super thick.
So did you find anything out?
That's the problem. Hacker you. Hacker you. Wait, what the hell? Why does it say Yuki? Yukie? Yukie Tanaka? That's not your name. Your name is you. Okay. Remove window. Super hacker. Super hacker. Saying that, you started tapping on the keyboard. It's just like that one scene. Oh my god. Wait, can I... Sorry. This is so off topic. Can I actually find it? Hold on. I mean, it's not like the scene at all, but it also is literally like the scene. It's a little ridiculous. Hold on. This is somebody's thumbnail. This is somebody's thumbnail. I didn't want like somebody's thumbnail per se. You know what? It will have to do. It will have to do. Oh no, this one. I found it. Yay. Oh no. No, I didn't find it. Why does everything have to be a one of those WebP images? No. Just show me the thing that I want. Just show me the thing that I want. I don't know. We can try it. We can try it. And then here, and then here, and then here. Chu already know. Is it? No, no, it's Black Blue. Black Blue already knows. Black Blue already knows. Yeah, yeah. Hold on. All of this for a single image. This better freaking work. This better freaking work. Yeah. It's so blurry. It's so blurry, but it's here. Old lady. Did you just call me an old lady? I couldn't find the other one where it's like he's surprised and obviously staring directly at her boobs, but it's okay. He's still staring at her boobs, so. Oh man, classic. Classic. It's literally the literally one of the scenes of all time. Yep. Reminding me of the scene. Yep. Literally. Hey, Cameron, you has actually been two people, you and me. You as the archaeologist, and then me as the nurse. They both went to coding university. If the game actually pulled something like that, because that technically falls into my Tsugumi and her twin sister Tsumugi category. If the game actually pulls that, I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream. Oh man. To be fair, she's like almost twice his age. True, it is true. Also, man, they were so mean to Lotus. Sometimes she deserved it. Sometimes she deserved it, but like most of the time, she was just kind of okay. She was just kind of okay. All right, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of boobs on the screen because it is time for the second break of the stream. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me go over to Burb's screen. Let me go over to Burb's screen. All right. If you are here, stretch, get some water, all the good stuff. I will be right back in 3 minutes. See you then. Alrighty, I am back. I am back. Yeah, but they had the right to call her an old lady looking like she did. She does not look old. Say what you will about Lotus. Because she's freaking ridiculous. But she does not look old. I think that freaking Jumpy and Seven were out of pocket for saying that. They were crazy. They were crazy. They were insane. Absolute delulu people. No, I was at audio only mode. Can I have boobs real quick? No. No, it's too late. It's too late. Instead, you can have... Let me go over back to game screen. You can have a nice picture of you being a super duper mega hacker. Yay! One of the monitors on the wall shifted from footage of an observation camera to an image of a computer desktop. In the middle of it, one window was open. You explained as she stared at the screen. Please tell me we're gonna ask about this. Also, does this say passwort? Oh yeah, it's German, right? It's German. So technically this is correct. Okay. I was about to rag on the game so much, man. I wouldn't have let it go. Yeah, no. This is technically correct. All right, sure. Just realized, meant to say had no light. No, you're good. You're good. I thought only Junpei said that. No, it was Seven too. Seven and Lotus were at each other's throats all the time. They were always fighting like cats and dogs. So he said it as well, which is crazy. Because isn't he the same age? Isn't he older? But no, whatever. Whatever. Picture of backflow. Welcome back. True. This is the authorization screen to connect to the network. Are we going to talk about Yukie?
Authorization screen?
This is where the system accesses the user for proper authorization.
I see.
I felt like I kind of got it, but not really. I'm attempting to connect to Lima's sea level, meaning I'm trying to access classified information. But if anyone could easily access important data, it would be a security disaster, right?
Probably.
Why don't you have Sada helping you with this? Sada would be totally down to be like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, sure, why not? That's why there's a screen where the computer asks, hey, who's trying to look at this? As she spoke, you used the mouse to click on the box for name. Inside were written the words Yukie Tanaka. Of course, there's no way I could access the system using my name, so I'm using someone else's name to get me in. Oh.
But anyone might try to think that, huh?
I suppose so. Okay. Obviously, the people who programmed this aren't stupid, so to prevent false authorization, they have methods to check people's identities. The screen then says, if you really are Tanaka Yukie, please show me your password. She then used the mouse to circle around the box for password. It was still blank.
And what about the password?
I'm working that right now.
What? You don't know?
I don't know it.
So you haven't looked up anything yet?
It's not that I haven't. I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to get in.
So you're stuck?
Yep, stuck. You nodded and gave a big sigh. Tap, tap, tap. After the second screen, Yu was back to typing on the keyboard. There was nothing for me to do. I just sat there watching you do her thing. It's funny, you could just say like, hey, Yukie, that's not your name. Is that like, but it sounded like your name. Is that maybe your dad? Or like, what's going on there? He doesn't ask any questions. He's just like, yeah, I'm just along for the ride. Okay. From her fingertips, a password was entered into the input field. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. The digits she typed were blocked out by a asterisk, so that anyone watching wouldn't know what the word was. Tap. You finished her input and hit the enter key. Ow! Access denied. Invalid name or user or password. But you immediately typed another line of letters. Tap, 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 tap. So you're just gonna brute force your way into it? There's a lot of combinations, you know? There's a lot of combinations we could try here. Access denied. Invalid name or password.
You?
What?
I was just wondering.
Oh, there you go. Brain cells, yeah!
I was just wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie?
Who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking at the name, I was wondering, who is Tanaka Yukie? Looking
Is she a relative or something?
She's my mom. Oh, okay. That's why I was confused. I was like, Yuki sounds like more girl to me. If it was like, and not to say this is the case, like Yuki or like ending in like an O, for example, like Yukio. I don't think Yukio is a name. That doesn't sound right to me. But for example, if it had the O at the end, I was like, wouldn't that be more of a guy name? Okay, mom.
So your mom worked here too? What?
Okay. Okay, sure. He was at most like 2 to 3 years younger than Lotus. I still maintain the theory that Seven and Lotus liked each other a lot, just bickered like school kid crushes. Yeah, I see that theory a lot. It's like I don't personally like subscribe to it, but like I get it. I'm not like here to be like, no, that's wrong. I think that's false. I definitely see it. Like a lot of people is like, I get it. Yeah, I see it. Acting like a password system is revolutionary. But this is the exact same scene that happened in 999. I don't know what they were talking about. They were talking about the concept of like, oh yeah, like monitors and like keyboards, and how your brain is like a PC, and the monitor, the brain of the system, and we're all collective. I don't know. Something like that. They were doing something really, really simple, and it just spun out of control from there. She's just starting to brute force by forcing password 123. Okay, password 123. Oh damn it, that wasn't it. Okay. 123 password. Oh damn it, that wasn't it. Okay. 321 oh damn it, that wasn't And she just starts from there and just keeps going. It's like, you're gonna be here a while. Did you know that? You're gonna be here a long time. Dog, that's my mom, you probably. This works better in my theory of twins. It did. The twin theory will never stay dead until we actually finish the game. Until we actually finish the game, and then we have to start Remember 11, and then we have to finish that game before it's like, yeah, okay, now for sure it's dead.
Your mom works here?
Works. She is working here, as in the present tense.
Hey, your mom researches archaeology, right? You think something about it, yes? You said something about it yesterday, I think.
Yeah, so what? You answered, her eyes still glued to the computer.
Archaeology has nothing to do with theme parks, right?
My thoughts My thoughts exactly. Man, I got hired for the medical team here. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. But I figured that Limu could probably offer her a lot more money than some small university research department with next to no budget.
Is Limu doing some kind of archaeological research?
Well, it's pretending to, at the very least. It seems like they're doing a survey related to the ruins of the Lemurian continent. Near the end of the 20th century, some oceanic ruins were discovered near Okinawa, right? Leblique Pharmaceuticals spread rumors that these ruins were somehow evidence of the existence of Lemuria. They poured loads of cash into the archaeological survey of the seafloor. I have no idea what the company is up to. I have no idea what this company does. It sounds shady as hell. What the heck?
Your mom was involved in that project too?
Apparently. I don't know the details. But I think it's all just an act. I think she's taking the money and researching something else.
Something else?
I told you yesterday, didn't I? The ancient idea of the third eye.
Your mom sounds sneaky.
Well, she is. Still, I think I understand how she feels. Even if they dug up all the ocean floors of the world, there's still no way they could find the ruins of the Lemurian continent. Continent, even. Not content, but continent. There we go. Thank you for the clip. Actually, clips works better if you type brute force 123. Brute force 123. Thank you for the clip. Everyone knows it's a complete waste of time. Even the higher-ups at Leblique Pharmaceuticals probably know. But they still have to go about pretending to do research.
I wonder why. It sounds like a waste to me.
Who knows? But it's a company we're talking about, so I bet it has to do with money. There's no way for us to know, and I don't really care. Tap, tap, tap. Alright. Alright. Password 132. Let's try that one.
Oh, right. I've been meaning to ask you, but what did you mean by your mom is researching the third eye?
In a nutshell, it basically means that a dimension a dimension of value n may only be understood in its entirety when viewed from the dimension of at least n plus 1. What the fuck are you what are you talking about? Huh? It didn't sound very basic to me. What did she mean by this? Essentially, only by gaining a sense of the fourth dimension can we really fully sense the whole of what's going on around us. I have no idea what she's talking about. Like when the third eye has opened up or something. Yu's hand stopped typing there for an instant, and she popped her neck loudly. She reached over for a cup and took a sip of coffee. I think yesterday you said something about evolution. About losing that organ thingy on your head. No, not there. It's here. It's called the third eye, and it has to do with supernatural powers. It's like the third eye on the forehead of the Hindu god Shiva. Like they say in yoga about the Agya chakra, or the third eye chakra. Or the astral light training by sages. Or like the esoteric Buddhism with the famous monk Komo Daishi, aesthetic training and invoking the Kokuzo deity of the space through the Kokuzo Gumon Jiho. What the fuck did I just read? Alright, yeah, that. Like the all-knowing eye in Tibetan Tantric Buddhism. I feel like I was being bombarded with exotic words. The conversation had completely left me behind. I think I mentioned it yesterday, but when the third eye opens, true wisdom is apparent and all becomes visible. That's what they say, at least. That's if the story is real. So, let's see. That means, in summary, it goes like something like this. Your mom is researching an ancient concept called the third eye, or third perspective. And once someone has acquired the third eye, they can sense the fourth dimension and see the whole world. I swear that she pronounces it like Lebleach. It sounds like it's Lebleach, it's Lebleach, I don't know. It's Lebleach. Lebleach, my favorite anime, Lebleach. You know, it actually makes sense. Like how one dot in a dimension can only see forward and back, and then two lines in a dimension can only see forward and back, and then up and down. Oh my god, it's Flatland. Oh, this wasn't in an Uchikoshi game, but I feel like I had a video game tell me about a very similar concept. Actually, I think it was in an Uchikoshi game. I think it had to do with a puzzle room in the second Zero Escape game. Something about the way that you see perspective, and the 1 dots, and then the 2 dots, and then the 3 dots, and the 4 dots. Yeah, I think it was something like that, actually. Because I feel like I've talked about this. I've seen this phenomenon before, and it's like in a video game for sure. And it's like, I don't know who told me about this. I don't know who told me about this. Waiting for computers at A by Sora to be like a third eye. That sounds like something Uchikoshi would do. It does sound like it. It does sound like it, though. Being able to see in a higher dimension allows us to perceive and understand the more around us, even if the actual stuff around us does not change. Yeah, exactly. Man. This was certainly... This feels the most like Uchikoshi that it's ever been. Maybe he had the most involvement with this route, to be honest. I mean, he wrote the story for all of them, seemingly. But, like, he wrote the story for all of them in, like, in the third game as well, technically. But, like, he didn't write the other 2 routes except for the Diana route, for example. Does that make sense? So it's like, how much involvement, truly? I don't know. I just feel like this is what... I can see the progression from here to Ida Somnium Files. This makes the most sense. Even though, you know, Yu doesn't believe any of this shit. So... If you read Flatland, I bet he'd be slapping that perspective thing into everything. Uchikoshi. The Uchikoshiest it could possibly be. And once someone has acquired the third eye, they can sense the fourth dimension and see the whole of the world. And that is in line with the legend of the third eye. That should be about it. Well, to hear my mom tell it, the third eye and the third perspective are the same. I don't quite get it. Why would a sense of the fourth dimension allow someone to understand the whole world?
Or why is a sense of a fourth dimension necessary? We're seeing the world the way we are right now. I don't get the connection between the third eye or third perspective and the fourth dimension.
There were lots of things I didn't get. The whole concept seemed to be beyond my understanding.
Alright, break's over.
Tap, tap, tap. Alright, pass 1, 2, 3 word. Let's try it again. You started working again without answering my question.
Hey, you.
Sorry, but let's make it the end of today's lecture. The explanation from here is pretty hard. And it's obvious I'm busy, right? If you really want to know, next time I'll explain it in an easy way to swallow. You didn't say anything more.
Okay.
I decided to give up for the time being. I remembered I was still holding the cup. I figured not drinking it would be a waste, so I drank it down. Gulp.
Yuck, this is so bitter.
It was completely cold, too. Huh. Ow! I give up. You muttered that and looked down dejectedly. She leaned back into the chair and it squeaked. In the end, she hadn't found any new clues. Actually, she hadn't even gotten past the authorization screen. Yeah, because you're trying to brute force it when you have literally the best hacker friend in the world. Why are you not telling her about it? I know she wants to be super secretive, but again, Soda has eyes everywhere, so what's the point? Is it that she's worried, like she knows about the experiments and she's worried like, hey, isn't it weird that I see files in here that are related to me? What's that about? You know? Admin, 1, 2, 3, admin. She's just going through all the cycles of like word 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. No, that's not working. What could it possibly be? All right, I'm making my way down the list. Only 18 billion more to go. Actually, she hadn't even gotten past the authorization screen. Access denied. Invalid name or password. That message had been displayed again and again. It sat in the middle of the screen. This is why we have the lockout thing that says, hey, after a certain amount of attempts, the computer's gonna shut down, man. Like, you gotta get out of here. Try again in an hour. You was really down.
So you couldn't get it? The password?
Nope.
Don't you have any ideas?
Like what?
I mean, when someone sets a password, it's usually a word that has to do with them. A birthday or phone number for something short. Even somebody who wanted to think of something nobody would come up with would probably come up with a phrase related to their past. I mean, not in this day and age, probably not, but yeah, sure, I guess, like, when you were still new to computers and it's like, how am I supposed to remember my password? You would do something like that, sure. Clearly the password is password. Password. She hasn't tried that yet. She hasn't moved on to the special characters yet. So she's like, oh shoot, I have to do that now. Listen, this world treats password systems as revolutionary. They probably didn't have a lockout feature. It is true. I guess they don't have it at the time yet. At least in this facility, which is crazy. Again, Limit systems, you know, they're kind of crazy. They have a whole advanced AI, and yet here we are. Here we are with you just like, yeah, I'm just gonna brute force my way through it. What's the worst that can happen? And she's still working through it. I mean, there's almost nobody that uses a meaningless combination of numbers and letters. If they did, they would probably forget it. And if they did forget it, then a password is meaningless.
I know that. I tried all the things I could think of. I tried them backwards as an anagram and all the possible patterns I could imagine. Okay, so you're the anagram person. You're the anagram person. But it's no good. I'm just a normal person when it comes to computers. I'm no hacker or cracker. I don't have illegal programs. I can't just type out one right now. But you know someone who can. You know someone who can. You stuck her hands up in the air, signaling her surrender.
I know. Sada could probably do it, right?
I remember that Sada was a top-level hacker.
You said Sada took first prize in some code-breaking contest, right? I bet she'd make a password-breaking program for you.
Maybe. You didn't seem keen on the idea.
Why don't you ask her?
I could, but I don't want to. I don't want to involve her in this. I thought that maybe she was still concerned about the criminal element of the idea.
But you don't mind getting me involved? Well, you came and involved yourself. I guess. I suppose. Sure. But at that rate, you probably wouldn't find a clue during her lifetime. I want to help her out, as a way of thanking her for helping me. There is just one clue. You took a piece of paper from atop the console. What's that? I tried 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 2. 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1. There's just too many. There's just too many passwords, man. This man has no concept of cybersecurity. It's kind of great, though. It is kind of cool. Let me take a sip of water. One moment. Is my voice okay? I guess so. I guess so. I guess it's fine. This was inside my mom's machine. I don't want to end stream yet. I don't want to end stream, but it's like my voice is kind of dying a little bit. I've been like talking a lot today. It's just been a very busy week, so it's not surprising. But also, I don't want to end stream. I don't want to end stream. I want to know more about what is this. This was inside my mom's machine. I sneaked into her research room before coming here. I was looking for clues about my father, of course. When I went in, I saw that her computer was on. It's auto-scrolling. Looking at it, I saw that there was a text file entitled Password. Okay? When I opened it, it was only one line. There was some Japanese sentence typed in it. What was it? Oh, it stopped auto-scrolling. What was it? Then you saw the password. Sure, I saw it. I'm guessing it's the hint then. Okay, fair enough. But I don't remember it. No, I don't believe you? What? No. What? I was in a hurry. I tried to take a note of it before I was found out. But I didn't have a pen or anything around. There were no disk or anything I could copy it to. So you just forgot it? The most important thing of your life and you just forgot it? Thinking about it now, I should have sent it to myself by email. But I was in a rush and I didn't think about it then. Suddenly, I thought that I'd try to print it out. As soon as it stopped printing, my mom came back. I snatched the paper that was in the tray and jammed it into my pocket. Okay. Huh? What do you mean? So the password you have now is the one with the password on it. So the paper you have now, rather. You held out the paper without saying anything. Huh? What's this? What the Oh my god, it is! It is! She's just Alice, man. It's just all the elements of Alice, and then it's just here again. Did you know the 32-letter encryption password? The Myrmidons had the Myrmidoning, and didn't you know you have to do this and that, and add in and subtract 32, and divide by 64, and if you do all of these things, you may be able to decrypt letters, and you have to do them in a very specific way, and if you do that, you can actually you can actually crack the code. Oh my gosh. There's no way, man. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay. Also, this is really hilarious. It literally is just a barcode. Why? It looks like it, but it seems different than normal barcodes. It's got 10 lines. Yep. What does it have to do with anything? Who knows? About how many characters were in that password? You said it was in Japanese, right? About how many characters was it? I don't remember very well. Maybe 10 characters, give or take. Was it all written in Japanese? Any numbers? I'm pretty sure it was just Japanese. I don't remember any numbers or anything else. Well, that's a bad password. I wonder which end is of this is the top. You got me. Or it could have been written vertically. No way. If you printed out a text file, why would it come out as a barcode code? You mentioned hearing... Oh, yeah. Never picked up the correct hearing. Wait a minute. Does that say I love you? Is that the password? Does it really? If I turn my head, it says I love you. It would be hilarious. It would be freaking hilarious if it's just like I love you. It's like, of course, it was me the whole time. It probably is. It's probably something like that. I don't know if it's just like the daughter and the husband, or if it's just like both, or or one or the other. It'd just be freaking ridiculous. I don't see anything in it. I see like a C6. Oh, you're not. Actually, I'm not going to continue that. I'm not going to continue that thought. I see, okay, but well, if I really squint hard, I see a 6 and then a 9. How about that? How about that? It's a little bit different. I know it's still a funny number. I'm not trying to be funny. Genuinely, that's what I see in the top. Okay? Your youth is showing. It's not. It's not. I'm genuinely not trying to be funny here. It is, like, genuinely what I see. Oh, man. Okay, if I'm looking at it in terms of, like, what, like, the black bars, I see an E, and then I see... What is that? I guess it's a U. EU. Thank you. Okay, so it's EU. There we go. We got it. You got it. Do I not actually see the message in the image? No, I did not actually see any image in the... Oh, I see. Okay. I was like, I'm trying so hard. It's like, am I missing something? No, I could be seeing something right now. It's here the whole time. I don't know. I just have to turn my head, and it's like, I see an M. I definitely see a 3 or an 8. I don't know. Something is there. Something is there. Does she mean like 10 kanji or 10 kana? I think it's like a combination of both, but it's funny because I was like, I thought you meant like, oh, it's written in Japanese, but it's using like a Roman system. But it's like, no, it's using Japanese characters. In which case, okay, well, what was it? I don't know. It could be anything, man. It could be anything. Because what did she decide to write in kanji? What did she decide to write in kana? Who's to say, man? Who's to say? Remember how she got this clue? She didn't remember. I mean, how she got the clue? She got it from her. She got it from printing it out. It's like, how does any of this make any sense? I don't know, man. Who knows? No hints? Hints? If I don't know the answer, how can I give you a hint? But you have to remember something, right? Like, did it have to do with food or a person's name? You shook her head and spoke. I saw it, but only for a second. How could you forget something so important? You had time to print it out! What the hell? You had time to at least look it over a little bit. Well, at least I know my address. And phone number, and birthday, and social security number, and alright, fine. Fine, bully the child with amnesia. Y'all are sick. Y'all are sick and twisted. What the hell? I even know my name. Now who's forgetting the important things? I looked again at the paper that we thought contained the password. I was obsessed with solving the puzzle we had found. It was frustrating. Again, just show it to Sada. She's a genius. She could figure this out in like 10 seconds. Now who's forgetting the important things? What could I say to that? It's not like I wanted to lose my memory. Watch this. I'll show you everything. I'll remember everything just to show you. Oh, he's angry about that. He's livid about that. But first, I have to figure it out. I had my mind set on it. I almost felt like solving it was a rite of passage that would help restore my memory. I get it. I don't... I get it. I don't get it. All of his choices boil down to this, man. It's great. It's literally so great. There's been a lot of scenes again where it's just like, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, honestly. I don't know. Save just in case. Hello? Oh, this is the quick save. Oops, oopsie daisy. Hold on. There we go. All right, there we go. No, I get it. I actually don't option. Yep, I would never choose that. I actually totally get it. I get it. Could it be? I thought for a second. What if I turn it over? What if I turn it upside down? What if I heat it with a flame? What if I rip it in two? What if I tilt it? What if I just wad it up? Well, I bring up this one because this actually did happen. This was actually important. But this is freaking, this is literally the end of 999. It's like, you choose the thing that is the truth that must be done. Do you know the numbers and what they mean? I don't know. I don't know, man. What if I heat it up? I thought that if maybe I heated it with a flame, I could read it. Hey, you don't have a lighter, do you? Huh? A lighter? Don't tell me you want to calm your nerves with a smoke. You're too young to smoke. I know that. I want to use it on the paper. You want to burn it? Playing with fire is dangerous. Besides, this paper is the only clue I've got. I won't let you burn it. That's not what I mean. Well, what then? I thought that if I heated the paper with a flame, something might appear. You're kidding, right? Yeah, I'm just joking. I figured out that I couldn't read it that way. Let's see. What was I supposed to do? I get it. I don't get it. Well, the game just keeps letting me do it, like, say I get it. Why would I not just say, like, yeah, I get it? I obviously get it. I'm guessing there's something here that I'm just not gonna... I thought about it for a second. What if I turn it over? I just turn it over. I thought that if I turned it over, I might be able to read something. There is a paper over... I turned the paper over and held it up to the light. 4... 9. I don't know. It was no good. Turning it over showed nothing new. So, did you figure it out? Yup. I figured out that I can't read it this way. I told you it's impossible. I tried all kinds of things. Let's see. I get it. Could it be? Could it be? What if I just rip it in two? I thought that if I folded it in half, maybe I could read something. I took it and folded it in half. Look at all these different animations for things that don't even matter. Don't even matter. Hashtag wad it up. Wad it up. I feel like it's tilting. I feel that in my soul, you know? I hope this isn't a root choice, an actual meta choice for the player. This is fun. This is fun, to be honest. I think the game, you have to come back here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe, possibly. It's like you get a different answer to this, but it's really funny because it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna try a bunch of things and hopefully it will work. Has you never heard of lemon juice and invisible ink? She's never heard of it before. I mean, to be fair, she doesn't want it to be burned, and that's fair. I guess we don't have a printer in here. It feels like we should, but we don't have a printer for an extra copy. It was no good. Folding showed nothing new. 4. Wait, no, 1. Wait, nothing actually. Did you figure it out? I can't read it this way. All right. Oh, no! I didn't get to do everything. Damn it. It's no good. It's time to give up. See, I told you so. I told you that it was impossible to figure out from the start. I was raring to go. I could have tried 18 billion different things. We have all the time in the world. Should I try one last time? There's still a potential password you haven't tried. Oh, there's still a potential password you haven't tried? Yep, but I thought it wouldn't work, so I tried everything else I could think of. You stared into the computer monitor. Tap, tap, tap. All right, here we go. Here we go. Password 123 123. Ah, damn it. Access denied. Invalid name or password. Things just didn't seem to want to go our way. Damn. Now that things have come to this. Abracadabra. Huh? Abracadabra 123? Open sesame. Damn it. Magic carpets? Tap, tap, tap. On Dasher and Dancer. On Prancer and Vixen. Come on! Of course, none of these phrases got access to the sea-level information. I didn't see why she had to shout all of them out either. I was already at my wit's end and incapable of speech. And then, suddenly... What in the... Oh, did Sora show up? I would love it if... I would love it if Sora had just shown up just now to be like, y'all gotta stop. I don't know what you're doing in here, but please stop. Stop this madness. Imagine the password is actually just written on the other side in pen. We tried it. Apparently it doesn't work, but I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be something like incredibly obvious when we figure it out. Fold it, 1, 2, 3. Fold it, 1, 2, 3. If you was allowed to try so many passwords on the computer, you should have tried more with the paper. True. And yet she's just like, yeah, I can brute force my way through it. How many combinations could there possibly be? I'm just an average computer user. You 10 minutes ago. Checks out, to be honest. It checks out. But what in the screen went black. What just happened? I don't know, but it looks like it automatically shut down the authorization screen. Okay, so after 50 attempts, the computer will shut down. Uh-huh. After a moment, the screen returned to normal. You pecked away at the keyboard and called the authorization screen again. Tap, 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 tap. Beep. Access denied. Cannot log in with the given name at this time. All right, this feels like Sora's doing. Sora said no. Yo, no. Okay, fair enough. But what is this? She tried it again. Beep. The result was the same. What does this mean? Maybe I entered the wrong password too many times and it activated some kind of protection. In other words, Lemith has completely denied access to my mom's name. She's gonna hate you. When we get out of here, she's gonna hate you for that. It's like, I needed that for work to pay the bills. So we'll have to give up for the time being, I guess. You shrugged exaggeratedly. And what was the password that should have been printed on the paper? And what was the password that should have been printed on that paper correctly? A Japanese phrase of around 10 syllables. When you mean syllables, do you mean like ka and like ka and then like sha, or are you like, because like if it's like ko is like an extension word, but ko is like it's one, depending on how you count it, it's either 1 syllable or 2 syllables. It's ko or it's ko. So like, what are you saying? Oh, did I read the final line as well? It bothered me to no end and was totally unsatisfying, but for the time being, there was no way to do anything more. A while after, we heard from Takeshi that repairs on the warehouse have been completed with no problems. Oh yeah, Takeshi, yeah, you, whatever you're doing. We finally gathered in the conference room. We were killing time, and I think that I can skip to the next choice. Never mind. Never mind. Of course, it was the kind of indirect thank you to her for looking after me when I was feeling down 2 days before. Alright then, shall we get started? Oh, this is when we realized we don't know how to plug things into a wall. No wonder she couldn't figure out the password, man. Okay, all of this. Oh yeah, this happened. Crazy, by the way, crazy. Just like, how should I put it? It was like the emotion that was about to explode to the surface had sunk away into nothingness. What? This scene was just like, how do I put it? So you're not gonna get angry? The next thing I knew, Tsugumi had turned to leave the room. That's sad. That's kind of sad, actually. Damn, this is your little sister, and it's like, I didn't spend too much time with you, so it's just like, I don't care. I literally do not care. Crazy, okay. The next thing I knew, Tsugumi had turned to leave the room. Sara still focused her glare on Tsugumi. I looked back and forth between the two of them. Finally, I let my eyes trail off after Tsugumi. Yu was there to help Sara. But first, I wanted to know about what that fight was all about. 6:53 p.m. I ran out of the infirmary and called out to Tsugumi and not to Sada because who gives a shit about her? That's... I'm kind of cringing a little bit. Okay. He doesn't know. Yeah, so I guess he doesn't know, but also, ow. Ow, okay. Hey, Tsugumi! But she ignored me and headed for the corridor. Why does it always have to turn out like this? So she finally got locked out. She finally did. It was 128 different attempts to lock, finally. So it is 10 kana. It is 10. It's like, I'm not sure which one. Even if I was tired of everything, I had no choice but to... Well, if it's 10 kana, then yeah, I guess it's ko u. And it's counted that way, for example. They said syllables interchangeably, and I was like, I'm not even sure which one is which, to be honest. Even if I was tired of everything, I had no choice but to chase after her. Hey, wait! She shot me a glance, but didn't slow her step. I said wait! I caught up to her and grabbed her arm, trying to stop her, but she shook off my hand. I told you to never touch me. I missed you. I missed you. I missed you so much. You don't understand. You don't understand. Sorry. Then Tsugumi started walking away again, as if nothing had happened. Still, I continued after her without giving up. I started talking to her as I walked next to her, peering at her face. Why are you fighting with Zara? It's none of your business. Tsugumi answered without looking at me, letting me know my questions were unwanted. Don't go poking your nose into things that don't concern you. How could this not concern me? I thought I had said enough. It really probably didn't have anything to do with me. I don't have any right to involve myself in people's private affairs. But still. No, well, actually, it might have something to do with you. What? Tsugumi strode away. Okay, so you know, but you don't tell us. I stood stunned for a moment. I soon pulled myself together and started after her again. No matter how much I called out to her, Tsugumi didn't respond. At last, I caught up with her. We were at the gate for boarding the jellyfish gondola. Finally, Tsugumi stopped there. It didn't look as though she had stopped there with any intention of riding the gondola. But it didn't look like she was going to move anywhere else either, or even sit down for that matter. Her eyes were just trained on the half-transparent gondola, which was partially visible beyond the gate. Hey. It looked like she was completely ignoring me. You don't have to respond, just listen to what I'm saying. I won't ask you to trust me anymore. But that doesn't mean you have to fight with anyone. We're all in the same situation here. We have to help each other out. Tsugumi turned and faced me. What an insightful comment. Don't joke around. I'm telling you exactly how I feel. I figured that I should take the fact that she responded to me as a slight change in attitude. I shot her another question. Why do you think we're enemies? I guess, is she looking for Chami at this point? If Chami is even real, Coco isn't real. I mean, she's half real, but she half isn't. So, like, is she looking for Chami at this point? Why do you think we're your enemies? What reason could you possibly have? I feel like we had this scene before. Never mind, but apparently we didn't. I've already told you, I can't trust you. You are all acting suspicious. I don't know whether you're acting on your own will, but still. I don't get you. What exactly is suspicious? You're trying to do the exact same thing that you did before. The same as what before? If you really lost your memory, then maybe you don't know. There's gotta be something going on behind the scenes with this accident as well. You mean to tell me you've experienced the same thing as this before? Again, it's like 18 billion different plot points with you. Just one character, and it's just like, yeah, it's just around. Yeah, you know, it just happens. You're just experimented on, you almost die, and you go to America, and you meet the girl of all time that then spawns a whole other game about whatever that's going on with. And also, you also get trapped down here at one point, and that becomes a whole thing. But then you got out, and then, you know, it happens again. She did say, like, that kid who predicted the future, not this kid, but that kid that was also with her, predicted the future, said something very tragic is going to happen to you at this point, and then at this point, and then at this point. And then she didn't... there wasn't any clarification as to what those 3 things were, per se. So maybe, I guess, this event was one of them in the past, and then, you know, losing Takeshi was another one. So another time loop. It might be another time loop as well. She might be talking about another time loop, to be quite honest. Tsugumi stared at me intensely. I took her look as an affirmation. In that case, I wonder if the same held true for me. So that means you can foresee what's going to happen, right? Huh? I'm right, aren't I? It's not just me then. But how come I can see into the future all of a sudden? See the future. No, the feeling I had was less of one of seeing it and more like knowing the future, or possibly having experienced it before. Why do you look confused about this? You know someone already who said this to you. Did I know it? Had I experienced it? Why? That was because the same thing was happening, that my voice was dying. Ah, hold on. Because the same thing was happening again. That's it. You and I must have traveled to the past, Tsugumi.
Time slip?
Oh man, we never left. We never left Never 7, man. We never left. We never left. Oh man. And since it has a whole new dimension to it, it's just like I feel like I'm back in the same place all over again. We never finished the game. We never finished Never 7, so we're back here again. We're just doing the same thing again. That's how I feel. Time loop, huh? I got water. Something about... So Kid has had memories, and presumably from our perspective, he's been having Takeshi's memories, but to him, he's like, I've been having memories of the future. So maybe you and I, we know the same things or something. I don't know. Traveled to the past. Yup. The theory I had hit upon excited me. I was sure. It almost had to be. I have the same sense. I know the future. Back in the generator room, I knew that the room had built up heat. No, you dumbass. You can just see the heat. You have infrared vision. Kid doesn't know. He doesn't know. Okay. But yeah, I mean, he does have a certain future vision. It's just a different timeline vision. No. But okay. It's okay. It's okay, buddy. We'll get there eventually. And take this morning, I had a feeling that there would be trouble in the warehouse. And when I first met Sara, I felt like I experienced something like it before. That's because she's your sister, my guy. I think I had probably experienced the same thing in my past. Tsugumi just stared at me. I could clearly see that she was flustered. That's what's so concerning. We have no idea. We have no idea anymore. I have no idea at this point. Hey, tell me your story. When I asked Tsugumi that, it was as if she snapped back to reality, her expression and the look in her eyes back to normal. My story? What, are you kidding? As long as I can't tell if you're in this with the others, I won't tell you anything. She's worried about Sora, and again, like, there's a secret underground facility, and it's like, what do you know about that? So it's like, why are you with them? But, like, also, I have amnesia. What am I supposed to do? Like, what if you explained it to me, you know? Wouldn't that be better? I felt dejected. I felt dejected. Like I had finally found someone who could share my feelings but wouldn't. Listen, I told you before, it would be best if you stayed away from them. And me too. Why? You really get bogged down in the why of things, don't you? The why is not important. She crossed her arms and said that forcefully. But if there is a reason, it's so that things turn out the best for you. So that I don't die in the underwater, like drowning in the sea. Yeah, sure, I can do that. For example, your memory loss could be because of them. Huh? That was a shocking idea. Her words just about stopped my heart for a moment. What? There's no way. I'd never even entertained that idea. Tsugumi turned to walk away from me, ignoring me in my state of dismayed confusion. I didn't have any power left to chase after her. Oh, and there is one more thing. As long as we're shooting the breeze, shall I predict a bit of future for you? I slowly lifted up my face and looked at Tsugumi. She looked serious all of a sudden. Tsugumi predicted that, if you continue to let yourself be used by them, on the 7th, you will die. I mean, I guess she's kind of true for that. When did the game end last time? It ended on the 6th, right? So, like, I guess it is technically possible on the 7th, when he was trying to escape with Sada, like, he just fell down and started coughing up blood. Like, am I a guinea pig? Are you saying I'm a guinea pig? Why would I specifically be a guinea pig? Wouldn't everyone here be a guinea pig to that experiment? Huh, okay. Damn, too bad you're kid. And not Takashi asking her. True. Oh man, Takashi just had the charm. He just had the riz. Dude, we don't have any of that. We're just a baby. We're just a babble. And she hates us, right? she just hates us. I trudged along, looking down. The light reflected cold and hard off the walls and floor. Tsugumi's words echoed in my mind. Tsugumi said not to trust Takeshi, you, and the others. That my memory loss was their fault as well. That their behavior was suspect. Can I skip this? I can't. I was like, this seems new to me. I don't think I can skip this. But I wondered if that could really be true. I didn't see how it could be. They all seemed trustworthy to me. The type of people you could really depend on. I'd only spent a few days with them, but I was sure. Besides, even if she was right, there were lots of things that were inexplicable. If Takashi and the others were scheming something, if they were trying to deceive Tsugumi and me, then it would have been visible in her words and actions. There is no way that normal people could put on an act as elaborate as that. If one or two were trying to lie, it might be possible, but even with my memory impaired, all I would still be able to tell is that I would still be able to tell if they were all trying to do it. It seemed that you, Sada, and everyone else were reacting naturally, as one might expect in each situation. So it didn't seem possible. It wasn't possible. The most important thing to explain was why the accident was caused. Why lie to Tsugumi and me? There was no reason, and it would have been impossible anyway. I wondered if I was gonna die. That was stupid. I would never die. I would never catch any sort of, like, new virus. I would never, ever do... That's weird. Anyway. If that was the case, it was smarter to help each other move on. More than ever. That's not what I said. If that was the case, it was smart to help each other more than ever. The problem is probably with Tsugumi. That was what I thought. Maybe she had some grudge against Takeshi and the others from before, or maybe she was just imagining everything and just paranoid. Or maybe she was trying to make me paranoid about the others and draw us into conflict, or something else. No, I had to stop it. It was too crazy. That was all just my imagination working overtime. Nothing but paranoia. It had to be the severity of the situation was putting an incredible strain on everyone. I wanted to trust everyone and to be trusted. So I would continue to treat everyone as I had up until then. That was what I decided. Rather than worrying about who to trust, we needed to worry about how the situation could have happened. If we knew the cause, we might be able to think of a way. I remember that Tsugumi had said something else. You're trying to do the exact same thing that you did before. I wondered about my ability to foresee the events. Was I repeating the past? I wondered if I really did travel in time. Finally, I arrived back at the infirmary, but there was no longer anyone there. Huh? Where'd everyone go? Maybe they're in the conference room. I died from virus 1 before I get to virus 2. True. In this game, there's so many different things going on. It's like, how am I supposed to know about plot point 3? It's like, suddenly, the virus. Did you know? Did you know about the virus and, like, the disease in the secret underground facility? Did you know about that? It's like, okay. I thought we were just doing a simple story about something else, but okay. Hey, Soda? I called out to her from the microphones in the room, but there was no reply. Soda had said that the complex sensors were not yet functioning everywhere. I figured that I'd have to go searching myself. I sighed and headed out into the corridor. Oh, that's right! I had an idea! The security office was nearby. I could use the observation monitors there. I might be able to see what was going on, and maybe find out where everyone was. So I made for the security office. When I entered the office, I saw you, 7:37 p.m. She was slouching loosely in her chair. You? What are you doing here? Hey, kid. How are you doing? I honestly thought she might have been dead. I honestly thought that she might have been dead. I thought I thought that might have been kind of ridiculous. It is time for the third break of the stream. We're probably going to go for like, I don't know, maybe like 30 more minutes or so. 15, 30 more minutes or so. And probably call it for a little bit. But it's the time for the third break of the stream. I just want to go a little bit more. Just one more scene. Just one more scene. What's the worst that could happen? Just one more scene. Just one more scene. But yes, let me go over to Burb screen. Break, and then more hacking. Even more hacking. Yes. If you are here, stretch, get some water. It might be a little bit of a longer break. It might be 4 or 5 minutes, or you know, it might be a little bit. But I will be back in a few minutes. See you then. Just one more scene. Just one more scene. Let me go over to game screen because I am back. I am back. All right, and continuing. You, what are you talking about? Hey, kid. Hey, kid. How are you doing? You swiveled her neck around and greeted me. She couldn't be bothered to shift her body. Where's everyone else at? What happened to Sada? She's resting in the decompression chamber below the infirmary. You straightened up. She added that Sada said she wanted to be alone, so I'd best not bother her. I just feel so bad for her, man. I just feel so bad for her. There's no way. There's no way. You're just constantly walking around. It's like, he should remember me. Surely he'd want to hang out with me, right? Because he just know, right? Nah, he doesn't care. He's a completely different person. He doesn't care. I see. Sora had to do work in the control room. She's checking and adjusting the complex. What about Takeshi? I don't know what's up with Kuranari. When he left, he said something about wanting a drink. He might be having a beer or something. Huh? A beer in Limu? You shrugged as if to say, who knows? What about you? How did things go with Tsugumi? Not good. She wouldn't listen. She just took off somewhere. She just took off somewhere. I decided not to say anything about Tsugumi's silly suspicions. Not to say anything about it. I don't know, like maybe I don't know. What would it be like to like bring it up to the group? To be like, hey, she said this, but that's crazy, right? Ha 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 ha. Like, I wonder how they would react to that. Sora would definitely just be like, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know why she would say that. She'd just move on from that. But everyone else being a liar, that I agree with Kid. It's kind of hard to imagine that. Well, I guess that's how things stand. That's how things stand then. So what are you doing here, you? You can't access the database for a while, right? Right, so I'm taking a break. Right now, I'm looking at Limu through the monitors and trying to think of a way to escape. I haven't thought of anything yet. You went back to typing on the keyboard. Tap, tap, tap. The images on the monitors changed, and it changed again and again. Takeshi appeared in one of them. Hey, that's Takeshi. Looks like it. Is that the rest area? Looks like it. I wonder what he's doing. Who knows? Takeshi was sitting on a bench. He had a can of beer in his hand. As you had said, it looked like he was having a drink. So there really is beer here. This has been a thing that's come up in all three of the routes so far. It's like, is it really that important? Didn't they say in one... Wait a minute. Didn't they say in one route, it's like, yeah, there's no beer here. There's definitely no beer here, so don't go looking for it. But in this route, it's like, yeah, there's beer here. So... okay. Okay. Thinking about it, I realized that Takeshi knew the kiosk freezers by heart now. Maybe it was something that an employee or someone had sneaked in. What I didn't understand was why there was one more beer. What I didn't understand was why there was one more beer. Rather, why the can was opened and sitting next to Takeshi. It'll get flat if he leaves it like that. What? Sada wouldn't... I mean, not Sada. Frick, what's her name? What's her name? Sora. Sora wouldn't, like, just be like, yeah, please, like, crack one open for me. Yeah. She wouldn't do that. Takeshi might on her behalf, but, like, I can't imagine that they would do that. Because at this point, I'm pretty sure... Wait, maybe not. Maybe not. I was about to be like, at this point, I'm pretty sure that we've already learned that Sora is an AI. No, we have at this point. So what is he doing? It'll get flat if he leaves it like that. Of course, there was no one there. Takeshi lifted his can in the direction of the can next to him and muttered something. But we couldn't hear what. I wondered if he was drunk. He looked dangerous. Jeez. What is that fool up to? Tap, tap, tap. You punched in some keys and switched to a less unsightly scene. But what was he doing? That's odd. And I know in this route, he was like, there's no one there. You're friggin' delusional, kid. Stop. You're delusional. Friggin' delusional. There's no such thing as a Coco. What? There's no such thing as it. And I mean, Coco wouldn't be... Coco doesn't present old enough to drink anyway, but... That's weird. That's weird. I thought they didn't have any beer. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm pretty sure we spent a whole, like, scene last time in the Takeshi route being like, yeah, there's no beer here. None whatsoever. You're just gonna have to... You're just gonna have to deal with that. On our final days here, you're just gonna have to deal with the fact that there's no beer whatsoever. Clearly, the extra beer is for pee-pee. True. It's not even... It's not even for the small child. It's just like, yeah, the dog can have it, sure. You punch some keys and switch to a less unsightly scene. Okay, time to take a break. You jumped out of her chair and headed for the coffee machine. I want one too. Alright. Where's the sugar and milk? Why did you take sugar and milk? You're like a kid with a sweet tooth. I don't know why. I thought for sure she was gonna say, "You're a freaking pussy, man." I was like, I just want sugar and milk. Bye. I can drink it however I want, can't I? Sure, whatever. Sure, whatever. I think they're in that drawer. I took the sugar pot and milk bottle from out in the drawer. Coffee is coffee because it's bitter. You said that as she poured the coffee into our cups. I think I already talked about this before, but I don't typically have coffee. I'm not like a, yeah, I just have coffee every single day sort of person or anything like that. Or like caffeine, because it kind of like messes me up a little bit. But when I do have coffee, if it's like normal every day, like, hey, I'm just really tired and I just really need this coffee or something, then I'll have like the milk and sugar and cream and everything. If I'm traveling or something like that, like I'm on a plane especially, it tastes so much better when it's just like pure black coffee. It just tastes so much better that way. It's like, yeah, this is nicer. This is nicer. This is soothing. So that's kind of my experience with it. I take personal offense to that. I take mine with sugar and milk too. Yeah, I think it's I think it's better. I think it's better overall, but I don't know. There's something about like, I guess for me, like traveling is like a stressful situation. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's like there needs to be nothing in my coffee when I'm traveling, or like if I'm away from home or something. There needs to be nothing, because it's just like otherwise it's just like I don't like it. I don't like it. If she said that to my face, it would throw my hands. Look at you making all of these enemies and chat. She's definitely been the most like I don't know if it's controversial, but like she's definitely the most controversial. Just like speak my mind. Like I don't care. Like this isn't real. That isn't real. All of this isn't real. And by the way, you should take your coffee black, because if you don't, if you don't, then that's freaking weird. Crazy. Black like my soul, like my soul. To be fair, I don't really consider anything other than black coffee as real coffee. I don't know. It's like, on the one hand, if I need the caffeine boost, it's like, yeah, I get the it's like it's a sweet treat and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, when I think of coffee, I think of black coffee. I would agree with that a little bit. It's like I think of black coffee. But if I just need the caffeine and it's just like whatever, I don't know. I could be having tea at that point. I just happen to be having coffee, I guess. She just talks mad shit. She does. She does, and she's great for it. I'm doing a pour over right now. Amazing. Actually, perfect timing. Coffee with impurities is like hamburger made out of chicken. Someday you'll understand, kid. What? I didn't understand that last part. Here's your... She did say it, though. She didn't say quit being such a freaking pussy, but she did say, oh, here is your little milky twink baby. Oh, shut up! I dribbled a little milk into the cup that she gave me. Oh my god, she's so crazy. I went to add sugar, but there was no spoon, so I decided to pour it from the sugar pot. And you know that black coffee is bad for your stomach, right? I know that and 100 other things that are bad, but smoking is bad for you and there are still smokers. Besides, when you're tired, sweet things give you a surge of energy. Fair enough, I can see that. I was in a, but you know, like bitter also kind of like wakes you up, so either or, I guess. I was in an argumentative mood. But then my hand slipped and the sugar went cascading into my cup. Oh no! There you go. That should give you the surge of energy until tomorrow. She had a good, like, she had a good back and forth with Takeshi as well that I found, and I was like, this is gonna be interesting. I thought for sure that she was actually on the Takeshi route, and then I got to towards the end of the Tsugumi route, and I checked, and I was like, oh, she's actually, like, she's on the kid route. And I was like, that's interesting. But she still has a good, like, back and forth banter. She's just, like, really, I don't know, I feel like she really, quote unquote, gets along well with anyone, if that makes sense. By which I mean, she doesn't get along well with anyone. Actually, she doesn't get along well with anyone, but she gets along well with everyone, if that makes sense. So, I don't respect anyone that says mixing coffee with anything isn't real coffee unless they suck tea baths with no water, with no water whatsoever. As this girl never had a turkey burger either. Apparently not. I don't know what that one comment with the chicken burger was about. I was like, okay, you let's tone it back for a little bit, but yeah. Also, thank you for the clip. Thank you for the clip. Thinking what? I didn't tell you? This is silly. You said that and sipped your coffee indifferently. What I said is that I can sense the future. I decided to tell you about my theory. I really wanted to hear what she thought. Why would you want to hear what she thought about... You know what she thinks. You know what she thinks. I mean, yesterday in the generator room, the trouble this morning with Takeshi, and when I first met Sara. That's just deja vu. Deja vu? When you've never done something, but you can't shake the feeling that you've seen or done it before. But you know, that's just really when you have some deep memory in your mind that makes something feel familiar. It's just a kind of hallucination. It's not. This wasn't like that. I think I've experienced the same kind of thing in the past. And? What's your point? I think that maybe I traveled through time. And that I came back here to the past from the future. And that I think it helps to explain my lost memory somehow. And? How does it explain your memory? It's hard to explain, but... What's going on in that head of yours? What got all twisted up in there to make you come up with some crazy idea about traveling through time? Or are you one of those people that believe in sun circles around the earth? But right now, this... Okay. You held her palm out to me like a traffic cop. Okay, let's say for argument's sake that you did travel through time. So what? What connection could that possibly have with your missing memory? You make absolutely no sense. Listen, there is no such thing as time travel. Theoretically and scientifically, it's impossible. I decided to drink my coffee. Ugh. It was so sweet that it made me almost want to vomit. Water flows downhill and time flows forward. It's simple. It's like a river. I mean, I'm trying to think about it in the context of like Zero Escape and I, the Somnia Files. When you get like realist characters like this, I guess like technically Lotus falls into this category and technically Alice falls into this category as well. Of just like I don't believe in this. This sounds freaking ludicrous. But when placed into the circumstances that they've been placed into, it's like, yeah. And to be fair, they knew a little bit. So, whereas you is entirely just like, no, don't believe it. No. So it's just like, what would happen if you genuinely took you and just like plopped her down in the middle of Virtue's Last Reward? What would happen then? You know? There is no going backward. But I groaned. I wasn't giving in without a fight. Are you sure? Water doesn't always flow down, does it? Now what? Are you going to have to explain it all with some anti-gravity substance? Or something like space isn't a vacuum, but it's full of ether? That's not what I mean. It's not like that. What I mean is... I looked around the room. There had to be something. Something to convince you. Like, my eyes stopped on the coffee machine. Actually... See, it would be great to have glasses for this specific moment. I could just, like, push them up on my model. Actually, it is theoretically possible to time travel into the future. Therefore, time travel is real. QED. She hasn't heard about Persona Zero. You haven't heard about this game called Persona, which invented time travel. Did you know that? I'm time traveling right now. True. We are all time traveling, technically. My eyes stopped on the coffee machine. The water in the lower container was boiling, warmed by the flame of the alcohol lamp. The water was siphoned up in the central pipe into the upper chamber by the pressure of the steam. This is it. Look, water doesn't always flow down. See? You didn't say anything. She simply looked at the gurgling water. Hey, are you listening? That's it! You suddenly stood up shouting. Ouch! You bumped my arm and spilled my coffee everywhere. It got on my arm and her coat. But you ignored it, handed her cup to me, and went bursting out of the room. She shot out of the room like a rocket. Whoa, okay. Alright, cool story. I quickly put the cups down and went after her. Yu was heading to the west. She climbed the emergency corridor and ran down the spiral staircase. When I finally caught up with her, I found myself in the central control room. 8:10 p.m., Yu and I dashed into the room. There was Sora. She was in front of the console with both hands together. She was quiet, her eyes closed. It was like she was meditating. The LED of the computer in the room was responding by flickering repeatedly. But when Sora had noticed our presence, she opened her eyes and smiled. What is it? Tanaka-san? Kid-san? I thought of a way to escape. You shouted in between breaths. A way to escape? Really? You did? Well... Are you alright? I'm fine. I'll be fine. After I rest. Deep breaths. Whew. Deep. You put her hand on her chest as she breathed, deeply trying to catch her breath. Then... Hey, Sora-san. Why can't we escape from here? Stupid. It's because Limu is flooded with water. Enough. I'm not asking you. Be quiet. Sora, answer me. It is as Kid-san said. It is because Limu is inundated with seawater. The water has blocked passages to Insel No via the elevator and emergency stairs. Thus, all avenues of escape have been closed off. See, like, if this were acting, right? In the same way that Tsugumi thinks it's acting, it's like, she could be right, but, like, also, I don't know. Like, part of it is, like, she could be right, but, like, I think Sora is trying to keep us down here, but, like, Yu doesn't seem like she's gonna stick around. She's like, yeah, I want to get out of here, as does most other people in the facility. Okay, so what you mean is that if we get rid of all the water in Limu, we could escape. Yes, however, with the limited wastewater pump still functioning, it is impossible. It's no problem. You stop Sora at that point. The floating island has to be... The floating island has to have a high-pressure intake fan, right? A high-pressure fan? A device to send in a mix of high-pressure gas to increase the air pressure in the complex. Yes, it is exactly as you say. In that case, why don't we use the high-pressure fan to pump in high-pressure gas, which will then push out the water? If you blow air into a straw that's in water, the water comes out of the straw, right? Oh, I get it. Theoretically, it is possible. I told you, let's do it! And it is one of the methods that I considered initially. Huh? In other words, unfortunately, it is impossible. Why? Because we can't activate the fan from here. It is the same reason the elevator is out of order. The cause is unclear, The cause is just, I don't know, the aura is off, and you know, the vibes are just kind of different, you know? I'm just not feeling like it. I'm just not feeling like it. Why? I don't know. I don't think she's lying about this, but I don't know, maybe she is. Maybe I shouldn't trust anything that she says. It is very unfortunate. Yu's shoulders slumped dejectedly. Yu. I put my hands on Yu's back. She turned and smiled an empty smile. Damn. I thought it was a good idea, too. I guess I'll have to rethink it. But her words sounded devoid of the spark she'd shown earlier. Huh? Only then did Yu finally notice the coffee stains. Yuck, this is gonna stain for sure! There's a laundry room right next to the changing room. Why don't you wash it there? Fortunately, we have a change of clothes as well. I just had the idea because I almost accidentally mispronounced wash, and I had this grand idea in my head. If only I could do a German accent, I'd probably give Sora a German accent. Just because. Just because, why not? I don't know, it feels kind of nice. It feels kind of like in tune with everything else that's been going on here, you know? That would have been nice. Unfortunately, I don't have that in my repertoire. I can't do that. All I can do is... Yeehaw! Well, let's fortunately, we have a change of clothes as well. That's true. That is true. Yu took an area of her coat that was stained black and held it to her nose. Yuck, this stinks like sugar. You mean it smells like coffee? That was what I wanted to say, but I just barely held my tongue. It was a new day. Yu said she was going to change clothes and had gone up to the second floor. Sora went back to work. Sara, she was probably sleeping in the compression chamber. Takeshi was supposedly filthy drunk in the park rest area. Tsugumi hadn't come back. I had no idea where she'd gone. Okay, 12:07 a.m. Say high pressure again. The vibes are just off, you know? Like, it's just not the time right now. Like, I don't know. Like, check back in, I don't know, like maybe a week or so. I don't know. You might pronounce all of the German... You might also pronounce all the German in the game perfectly. If I had it in my repertoire, yeah, I might honestly be able to do that. Unfortunately, here I am. Here I am with my southern accent, and that's it. That's all we really have. Considering the company that made her is German, it would only make sense. Yeah, it would, right? I don't know. I can kind of see it. Like a vague, maybe... I don't know. I don't think it's required, but I think like a vague, general, slight German accent would kind of work for her. Me, I was in the conference room. In the middle of the table was a three-dimensional image of Limu. Oh my god, it's already been 30 minutes. But just one more scene, you don't understand. Alright, fine. I have to wake up early tomorrow anyway. You don't understand. Just one more scene. Kid Yu, the first eye. The first eye, not to be confused with the second or third eye. Okay, so we're already on the Yu routes. We've skipped through quite a bit, to be honest. We've skipped through quite a bit. I don't even know where we are on the flowchart anymore, but whatever. Let's just hope for the best. Whatever. All right, and then let's go to return to title. Yes, yes, please. Just one more. Just one more. All right. That was Ever 17, the Out of Infinity. That was it. It's too early to tell how it would compare to the Tsugumi route for me personally. Obviously, there was a big progression curve in the Tsugumi route. It really is about the character growth for her. So there is that. But I gotta say right off the bat, she's, you know, Yu is great. Yu is great. Yu is fantastic. She's such a breath of fresh air, especially in a game where it's like, you just expect all these characters to know everything and then agree with it of like, of course it's real. Didn't you know? Like, everyone knows this. Like, she knows all of this and she's like, but this is all horseshit. So like, I don't know why you'd believe it. And that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. I do think, obviously it's an Ushikoshi game. I do think there is some like timeline shenanigans involved. Something has to be happening. Something isn't quite right, you know, in some certain way. Even if it's just like in a vague referential sort of way. But I do think at the end of the day, Yu is slightly wrong. even though she's mostly right, but she's slightly wrong. But you know, it's just nice to have that sort of, I don't know, like I was gonna say like sidekick character, but like to be fair, she's the main character and we're just kind of her sidekick. Whenever we're a kid, we're just kind of like the sidekick along for the ride. But it's nice to have like that sort of sidekick where it's like, yeah, but I don't believe any of this, by the way. I don't believe any of this. Like I'm just not vibing with this. And she has her own thing as well, where she really wants to find her father and like her whole thing with her mother, even though her method of, you know, brute forcing the password, I don't know, we gotta workshop it, man. It's not working. It's just not gonna help. So I know we're great, but what about you? I know we're great, but what about you? What about you? You? Who? Me? You? Oh, you. You. My voice is dying. Hold on. All right. I'm also really glad that I switched the remember when I started the game at the very beginning and it had it to the default spelling of YOU? So glad I switched that. My brain would have hated playing through this. My brain would have hated playing through this route, especially if I had not switched that over. So I'm glad I changed it to YU. I don't know. I think it's a little bit easier on my processing power. my one brain cell. So but that was it. That was it. Voice dying. She played 30 minutes too long. To be fair, I think that's probably it. You and you. I don't know. I think it would have been pretty funny. It would have been pretty funny for me to say, yo, yo, wait, yo, ooh, yo, you, shit. And just die. And then every time everyone actually says the pronoun, like you, as in Y-O-U, I would have said yo, and then wait, you? No, you. You don't understand. It's you. But yes, that was Ever 17, the outs of infinity. This was fun. This was fun. Let me go over and look for somebody to raid if anyone is online to raid. Red is online actually. Red is playing the 100 line Last Defense Academy. Yeehaw! Let's go and say hello. Let's go and say hello. Wait, can I? I'm pretty sure she's still behind, like where I'm at. I don't see the date on the screen, but you know what? It's close enough. It's close enough. Let's go ahead and say hello. I think she's on like a BRB screen, but let's go ahead and say hello. You know what? That's a raid message. Yeehaw delivery. We never do raid messages. I mean, we do technically have a raid message. It is like special delivery. It's always just special delivery. But yeehaw delivery for today. I think that would be good. Let me make sure I can spell names correctly. That'd be so cool. Yippee! Ah, huzzah! All right, cool. And let me go over here. And then let me go to ending screen. All right. I think she was in like day 20s. Yeah, that's what I remember last time as well. It's like around there. So hopefully I haven't missed any like streams or so. But yes, as always, this was super duper fun. If you are here, thank you so much for joining. I really, really appreciate it. I will be back with some more of this game next week, and we'll be back to the insanity. We'll be back to Best Girl and more of the usual insanity. So have a wonderful rest of your day or night or whatever time it is. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye bye, bye bye, bye bye bye.